Playing in a back-to-back on the mound for the Rangers is number 39, Vincent Fusco. And for New Jersey, they're batting 14 again in this game, but they'll start from where their lineup left off, as it's Terefenko up at bat to lead things off for them in their second game here today. That catches the corner for a called strike. Count runs to 2-1. Terefenko was 0 for 1 in the first game with a strikeout swinging. So we're not wasting any time here at Shout Stadium as the sun is out, wind has settled.
Told you they might start early, right? I mean, I was right. Yeah, caught us off guard a little.
2-2 hits Terefenko, and it, visible pain there on that off the thigh. So count remains 2-2 though because of the reset rule.
Boy, it got a lot warmer here, didn't it?
Oh, it is a gorgeous day.
Yeah, but we can't see the monitor or anything, but that's the sun. There you go.
Ground ball to first, and that will be an easy out as the first baseman steps on the bag. So one gone for New Jersey. So with one away, Aaron Winsinger strolls to the plate. Takes a fastball high and outside.
I thought it was interesting when you were telling me that they more or less just keep the same lineup and continue and pick up where they left off. I mean, they had 14 batters, and they're playing back-to-back games, so they know that they can do that. And Winsinger here was batting 14th, and he got one at-bat in the first game. So it makes sense. Pick up where you left off and just keep the same lineup.
Yeah, given the showcase nature of the weekend, it's more important, I think, for these coaching staffs and players. You just want to get reps. You just want to get at-bats. You want to make sure every kid, if they're going to make the journey out here, they're getting that equal playing time or the equal opportunity to see some quality at-bats. As this pitch misses, 2-1 count on Winsinger.
See, we've gone back and forth on whether we want the tent or don't want the tent. We're warmer without the tent because we got sun, but we can't see hardly anything on the monitor. So
you know what? It's give and take. It's give and take.
We'll just do it every other game. We'll change it.
If you're asking me, I'm taking no tent. I know we might have to sacrifice, but
I'm not shaking anymore, so I like that.
To quote the Beatles, "Sun, sun, sun, here we come, baby." Right. 2-2 is fouled straight back. So after Winsinger, it'll be the original top of the lineup for New Jersey. Obviously not the top of the lineup in this ball game, but Mortalito led things off in their first game here today. As this is waved through and missed for out number 2.
I like Vinny Fusco here, and he follows through the left-hander here for Taconic, and his hat's coming off. That's a good look. I like it.
You saw that earlier this summer at a couple of showcases we've covered for BFA. A lot of these kids with the flow, it's too much to contain, too much energy to shield underneath the cap.
This is Mortalito, right?
Yeah, Mortalito looks at a first pitch outside of the zone. I'm a fan of the Rangers' uniforms. It's a combination of the Texas Ranger hat, but also the Dodger blue with the red uniform number on the front side. A really cool look.
Yeah, the Dodger look is classic, and they're out at Taconic. I mean, you still have Brooklyn Dodgers fans. You still have that influence.
You know, it was a crazy thought. I was thinking about this because I was talking to somebody about Vin Scully. Because of his long tenure as an announcer, Vin Scully was born in the New York area, grew up a Brooklyn Dodger fan, and followed that franchise out there. So think about that. The man was involved in the game so long, he announced for several years in Brooklyn, and then almost every year the franchise's history out in Los Angeles. Growing up a kid in Brooklyn.
His first year was 1950. When he was 23 years old with Red Barber, and that was 2 years after Jackie Robinson had broken in. And almost 70 years as the announcer, which is crazy.
Meanwhile, it's a 3-1 count to Mortolito, who had a nice game defensively in NJ's game against Philly earlier.
He was the second baseman, right, that made that catch?
He was. He made a diving snag on a hard-hit line drive to his glove side, and now he draws a walk. First batter to reach here today in Game 2 for New Jersey.
So on Vincent Fusco here, I have him at 85 miles an hour on the Perfect Game website that have these great scouting reports on all these kids.
Runner goes, and in safely at second with the stolen base is Mortolito. Got a great jump there. Sam Gates, the batter now, looked at a first pitch ball.
I mean, Fusco, he's a left-hander, and he can already bring it and top out at 85. So that portends a bright future, one would think.
The 1-0 bends in. A great dance on the breaking ball.
The batter's ducking out of the way of a ball that ends up coming in for a strike. But that lefty-lefty matchup, when it's breaking that much, it's so tricky.
And my mistake, it's an 0-2 count. First pitch in the count was a called strike. The 0-2 catches him looking for called strike 3. So the batter's retired, and out of the jam are the Rangers. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. We go to the bottom of the frame with no score.
If I go right here on the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Colin Riley, the right-hand pitcher out of Christian Brothers Academy, on the mound for New Jersey. Here to face the Rangers lineup.
Yeah, we're figuring this out as we go, right? Okay, so here's number 12, Sean Camacho.
Camacho, a left-hand batter. Takes the first pitch high and outside for a ball. Camacho, class of 2022, so one of the younger kids here this weekend. The 1-0 is in for a strike. And as Bob mentioned, we're writing our lineups down literally as we go.
Well, their coach, Robert Fletcher, didn't even have a lineup written down. He knows it in his head. And that's allowed to do here. You're allowed to do that in a showcase. You don't have to turn a lineup card into the umpire or anything official like that.
I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan. We only spoke with him for 2 minutes, but he made it a worthwhile conversation
I
in
like
those 2
him.
minutes. The 1-2 is chopped to first. Camacho sprinting down the line. Not going to be in time as it's hit to first. But, man, he makes even a ground ball to the first baseman a difficult play almost.
Well, that's why they put him in the leadoff spot, right? So You get your speedsters up there, and you put it on the ground, and you give yourself a chance, although on the ground on the right side, maybe not quite as much of a chance. And let's see, this is number 10, Jimmy McCurdle out of Kingston High.
First pitch to McCurdle, fouled straight back. McCurdle, an outfielder from the class of 2021. On deck is Kyle Kremen as the 0-1 catches the corner. And something to keep in mind as well, we said the sun is, basically out and in the center of the sky now. Probably not going to have as many difficult balls on pop flies to field. Now,
well, it's not as windy either.
Right. And the wind was a big factor in game number 2, but it's been rather calm here at the beginning of our third ball game of the day. 1-2 is a curveball waved at and missed. So 2 gone now in the inning for Colin Riley. And Kyle Kremen steps in. One of 6 Kennedy Catholic prospects on this roster. I missed one. There's 7. So
that's a lot.
A Kennedy Catholic heavy roster. Is the first pitch to Kremen is in for a called strike. Good command of that breaking ball by Riley. Not scared to throw it early on in the count so far. Riley way ahead now at 0-2.
I've got his top velocity at 82 from perfect game, which is maybe not quite as high as some of the other pitchers, but he's also a class of 2022, so there's time to get it up to 85 by the next year and continue to develop.
And Riley listed at 6'2", 175, so perhaps if he can add some weight to that frame, it'll add a couple extra MPHs. The 1-2 is hit hard to right center field, going back to the wall, and it is off the fence. Strolling into second with a stand-up double is Kremen, and he's there with 2 outs, so a good job of 2-out, 2-strike hitting to square that one off the fence out in the right center. Give his team, an RBI chance now with 2 gone.
Yeah, he crushed it. I think that Riley kind of left that right there in the middle there for him, and Kremen turned on it and drove it off the fence, and a nice blast.
So Adam Agresti now with a 2-out RBI chance takes the first pitch curveball low.
With that bright neon yellow bat.
Yeah, it's hard to miss. You can see that thing from miles away as he hits a ball hard to left, but a nice snag out there for the final out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base at the end of 1 full frame of baseball. We're scoreless here on BFA Productions. Zachary Rogacki digs in to lead off the top of the second inning here in Game 3. Chris Marcus alongside Bob Rotruck, as this is high and inside for a ball. And the home plate umpire
Ouch.
to that one. So timeout is called. Home plate umpire looks to be all right.
Yeah, it got him, but
Never want to see
yeah, it happens. I mean, it's part of the deal of being a home plate ump, right? I mean, if
That's
you
what
make
you
it
get.
through a game without getting dinged, that's a good day. It's a tough job.
This is served to left field, but right at the left fielder for out number one. A nice piece of hitting there by Rogacki, but unfortunately right at the defender. So one gone now, but this is really the heart of the lineup for New Jersey.
Right.
It brings up Jacob Bowles, who was their cleanup hitter in game number one.
Well, he and the next guy, Joe Celia, at the home run there, a couple of guys that are going to that Wood Bat Perfect Game World Championships in Florida coming up next month. So, yes, they are thought of very highly.
Bowles 0 for 1 in the first game today. Had a walk, however, so he did reach base. Defensively, Bowles plays first base primarily as he taps this to the first base side, fielded by the second baseman. The flip to first is in time. A great job by Fusco to cover the bag and pick the ball out low for out number two.
I was going to say the same thing. Fusco got off the mound quickly on a grounder, more to the second baseman than the first baseman, but on the right side of the diamond. You better get over there. And the fact is, guys, at the professional level, up to the major league level, there are going to be incidents where you didn't do it because you thought that they had it covered, and then you have egg on your face, and you're going to hear from your manager about it.
So scored a 4-1. It's a traditional PFP practice play right there.
Right.
And with two gone, Joe Celia digs in. He homered in New Jersey's game earlier today. That home run came in the fifth inning, and it gave New Jersey a late 2-1 and eventually final 2-1 lead.
Not even 17 yet. 16 and 11 months. I mean, there's a lot of promise there for some. I mean, to me, 16, you're a baby, and boy, they've got some talent here among these kids.
The 1-1 fouled straight back. He just missed that one. And anytime as a hitter you foul one straight to the screen, you're right on it. It's a feeling of, man, I should have straightened that one out, but I'm right on this pitch.
These stats on the Perfect Game site, I mean, they've got exit velo and infield velo. It's amazing.
Celia called out looking, I should say. We'll take a look at some of those stats when we come back in the bottom half of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We're still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. Yeah, it's kind of nuts how much information there is on high school kids.
Well, I mean, it's really common. In Williamsport, they would set it up right in front of the dish, and they're taking exit velocity and batting practice.
Right.
And then the guy has a tablet, and he's standing behind the cage. So a guy, after he's finishing the cage, he can come back and say how much.
Right.
Because some guys are frustrated if they're not breaking 90 on their exit velocity. Now you've got proof that you're not as hot as you thought you were.
Right.
Other guys, we had a couple of guys.
And this is all in Williamsport, right?
This is New York 10 League Williamsport Phillies prospects. They get the exit velo on the batting practice. It's tied into our video coach tablet, and it's standing right there with it, and it goes to the Phillies organization.
Right.
It's all looped in together.
Wow.
Every single pitch, so the Phillies management, they can sit there and watch a screen and watch the pitching velocity of all 6 of their minor league teams' games.
all at once.
And
Yeah.
say, the guy in Williamsport, and they can keep up with all of it if they want.
Wow. Next level.
They have technology to the extent that they don't even know what to do with it or what it means. Like they have bat speed or bat rotation stats and
really,
and they don't know what it means, but they have the numbers.
That's crazy.
So they have technology, they don't know what to do with it.
That's so crazy. Bottom of the second inning here in Game 3 of the day. Nicholas Mazzata to lead off for the Taconic Rangers as that misses low for a ball. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck. And Bob, we were talking in between innings at the end of that first half of the frame about how far stats and metrics have gone with some of these high school and college recruiting websites. It really has transformed the game of baseball.
It's all exit velocity, baby. I mean, if you can hit the ball hard, then you can make it somewhere. Even if your batting average is 220, if you're hitting the ball 90 or up on your exit velocity, well, you're hitting it hard, and that's going to eventually result in base hits. And if you're not hitting it hard and you're getting hits, your luck is going to run out. So you can't fool the stats. And some people are against exit velocity and think, well, I mean, it's just too much, and I just want to see home runs. Look, it's a thing, and it's not going anywhere, and the teams are using this, and I was in the Phillies organization last year broadcasting for their New York Penn League team in Williamsport, and they're getting exit velocities on their batting practice because it's that important, and the Phillies management watches it all the time. It's amazing.
2-2 bounces low, so it'll be a payoff pitch coming up. And it really is crazy to think, too. So it's not just at the minor league level. There's kids in college and high school who are concerning themselves with, how do I maximize my exit velo? What kind of drills can I do? How do I maximize that and improve a scout? It transforms the way guys think about how to get to the next level. It used to be, let me play well in front of a college scout. Now it's more metric-based.
Well, I don't even know if we have the exit velocity here today, but at some of the Perfect Game Showcase events, that's what they're obviously setting up because the numbers are there. They're getting numbers on the guys at least somewhere.
We had a reset, a pitch before it. That was a 2-2 reset. Now the count again full at 3-2. This payoff pitch misses low, so Mazzata reaches on a 6-ball walk.
And I'll tell you, the metrics and the analytics, it goes into all the sports now. And I work for the Philadelphia Flyers affiliate in hockey, and they'll wear these things on their jerseys during practices that keeps up with their heart rate and their breathing rate.
Wow.
And you need to be more efficient. Here's where you expended your most energy. And they have more stats than they know what to do with. It's incredible the amount of data that they have, and it goes all of it goes to the Major League Club. The Phillies are watching what the kids in Williamsport are doing without even being there.
Yeah, the amount of data there is now on health and wellness as well is transformative when you consider sleep patterns are things that professional teams are starting to look into. How do we
nutrition
maximize
and everything else? Yeah,
sleep patterns, all these things. 25
years ago, we'd pull over on a road trip. You go into McDonald's, you get a quarter pounder.
Right.
I mean, that's what the world was 25 years ago in sports. A bunch of top-notch athletes go eat garbage food. Now they realize maybe eating garbage, it sounds silly now, but that's what every team did.
Right.
Frequently.
Meanwhile, it's a 2-strike count on Benjamin Tulo, the second baseman and shortstop for the Rangers. Curveball is chopped slowly, third base side, fielded. Throw across the diamond is in time.
Boy, he's fast.
He does have wheels, but that's a great throw by Vincent Versace for out number one of the inning. So scored a 5-3. It moves Mazzata over to second base. And with one down, number 20, Brendan Bisceglia steps in. He's got an RBI chance. Bisceglia, class of 2023, so a young pup out of Arlington High School. It's funny, you're talking about pro athletes stopping at a fast food joint on their way over, traveling in between games on a road trip. But I can't help but note, I don't want to name the brand, but me stopping at a couple places this morning on my way here. So all the information's out there, but I've not taken the advice yet.
You're not competing on the field and trying to maximize your own performance, right?
Fair enough.
We had donuts here earlier, so
Yeah.
right.
Boston cream. So it's hard to pass up on a experience like that as this pitch misses low.
3-0, I believe.
A wide stance by Basiglia. The 3-0 is low, and as has been common throughout the day,
He faked himself out, right?
hey, it's very difficult to adjust. No, you're so used to a 4-pitch walk, the rhythm that you're in there. Now, as a hitter, I say you can't think and hit at the same time. Meanwhile, the 2-0,
and
that
that's
misses
3-0.
outside.
Right. So they reset the count to 2-0 after he got to 4-0, and we actually have had walks after the reset. They want to give the batter, a chance to hit and to show his stuff. But if you essentially walk twice, then okay, now let's move on and go ahead and take your base.
Well, as a hitter, obviously it puts you in tough spots every now and then, but you want to be swinging the bat. You want to demonstrate to your coaches and to the scouts here today what you can do when you put the ball in play. So another 3-0 count, and that misses low. So a 6-pitch walk.
Yeah.
Second walk of the inning issued by Riley. And that brings up Phil Massia, a class of 22 outfielder from Kennedy Catholic. First pitch to the left-hand batter is bounced. Runner goes from second and gets to third, no throw. So Mazzata with a good read. Advances to third on the wild pitch.
They both moved up.
Yep,
actually,
Basiglia reaches second.
You better get to second behind the runner if the lead guy is going. And I've seen guys that were daydreaming or hesitated and didn't do it, and that's a big boo-boo.
Meanwhile, the 1-0 is in for a strike. Especially, it eliminates the double play. It's not just that it gives you 2 runners in scoring position. It takes away the twin killing opportunity as this is waved through and missed.
Boy, Colin Riley's got some good stuff here when he's finding the strike zone. He had a couple of walks here in this inning, but boy, that slider was really good.
Way ahead in the count. The 1-2 is hit hard to center, and that's down in the gap. 1 run will score easily. Holding up at third is Basiglia, and now going to second on the throw to third base is Macias. Some heads-up base running there, but
Big time.
not the best job relaying the ball in from the outfield.
No, it isn't, but Phil Massia, that's a guy with his head in the game, and that's the kind of hustle play that you absolutely love to see. That's tremendous. I mean, that's kind of a flare in a left center, right? That's supposed to be a single, and he sees the cutoff throw go a little the wrong way, and he was ready to jump on it.
Nico Batke, the hitter now, with a 1-0 count. Batke from John J. East Fishkill. The 1-0 is skied to shallow center field. And that's not going to bring the run in as second baseman has it for out number 2. So 2 gone now in the inning, and this will be the last batter no matter what, as it's the 6th of the inning for the Rangers. And it is number 6, John Munoz, a class of 22 outfielder from Yorktown.
So this kid, Colin Riley, 16 years and 7 months, and I think he's a pretty smart pitcher for a 16-year-old. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He bounced one up there, but he's coming home right after he bounced it, so talk about a kid who's thinking.
And these are situations that will really test your thinking. You got to jam 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Can you get out of it with just 1 run on the board, as this is in for a called strike? The 1-1. Breaking ball, didn't get on top of it there. Kind of slipped out of his hand on the delivery. Count runs even at 2 on this swing and miss. Riley looks in, checks at second. Light wind blowing in from center field, and now Riley steps off.
Yeah, we were getting warmer for a little while, but
Yeah, some shades creeping back in over
that
us.
was 30 minutes ago. It's changed.
The 2-2 bounces low. Good eye there by Munoz, remaining patient at the plate. The 3-2 is waved at and missed for the final out of the inning. So Riley gives up a run but gets out of a second and third jam, One run on the board for the Rangers. We'll head to the top of the third with the Rangers ahead 1-0. It's a good job getting out of that jam. Let me see. He only gave up one hit in that inning though, right?
Yes, 2
Yeah.
walks.
Gotcha. All right. See. Okay, so let's see.
Should be Vaughn, Cohen,
Figliolino. What a name. Same pitcher, right?
That's a good question. Yes, this is
There we go. Nick Vaughn to lead off the top of the third for New Jersey as the first offering to him from Fusco misses high. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Roadtruck here for BFA Productions as this is fouled off first base side out of play.
I like looking at these scouting reports as well, not just for the numbers and the velocity and so forth, but it gives you an idea of what scouts look for, coaches and managers too. So for a kid here like Nick Vaughn, and I guarantee he's read his own page. I mean, there's no way he hasn't. Takes infield reps where he transfers cleanly when fielded cleanly, stays balanced and on the balls of his feet. Quick release, clocked up to 76 on throws across. That's what the scouting is looking at. How comfortable is he, or is he fighting the ball? And I love the scouting language.
The 2-2 is fouled off, a defensive hack there, but Vaughn able to make contact and stay alive in the at-bat. You're right, the language, it is very baseball specific, but it has a point, right? These coaches at the college level want to know what the strengths and weaknesses to a T of these players are. And obviously the more reps you get under your belt, the more you can improve upon what the scouts are looking for. As Vaughn goes after a pitch almost at his eyes there.
That was rising.
Yeah, a check swing just to stay alive. An impressive two-strike approach here. Now Fusco stares in and misses outside with the offering.
He kind of stands sort of three-quarter style facing the first baseline, does Fusco. And he holds that ball and glove way out in front of his chin.
The payoff is nubbed back to Fusco. Can't make the play. Slow roller. Second baseman fields, and the throw is wild. So it's up to us on how we score that. What are your thoughts?
I
there,
couldn't
Bob?
see how close it would have been at first because I was screened there.
It would have been close, but that's a barehanded slow roller.
Did he barehanded? That's Benjamin Tulo there at first base. If it's barehanded, then
I think I'm going to give that an infield
Sure.
single.
Sure.
Benefit of the doubt there. So it's an infield single for Vaughn, and that brings up the left-hander David Cohen. First pitch to Cohen misses high. Cohen was 0 for 1 in his first game today with a walk. He's a left-hander with a slightly open stance. Pops this pitch foul down the third base side.
And then if you go on and try to look on Google for a more common name, you're not going to find him. So I looked up David Cohen, and I ended up with David Cohn, and that's what it gave me. Thanks, Google. That doesn't help a whole lot, but I get it.
It's funny you mentioned Dave Cohn. Quick story about him. So I grew up a Yankees fan, but was fortunate enough to work a summer as an intern for New England Sports Network covering Red Sox games.
Oh, wow.
And so I bumped into Cohn in a press box at Fenway, and it was the box in which everybody there for the media has lunch. And I told him, I said, hey, David, I'm a big Yankees fan. I just happen to be working for the Red Sox. You know, you're not going to know this, obviously, but my parents, their wedding anniversary is July 18th, and that happens to be the day you threw a perfect game in 1999. And that's the reason my dad can remember his wedding anniversary. And he laughed. And he said, really? How old are you then? And I told him, he's like, wow, you were a baby when I was pitching. So
You were.
He was a nice guy, David Cohn. He really is. As Cohen looks at called strike 3, 1 gone. A nice job of Fusco there to catch him looking and come back after giving up a leadoff single. So with 1 down, Joseph Figliolino steps in. Vaughn at first base. Fusco checks on the runner, comes home and fires a strike. Figliolino giving a hesitant nod there. Thought it was a little bit outside, but it gets the call. The 0-1 is served to right for out number 2. So 2 dead now in the inning, and that will bring up Vincent Versace. Versace flew out to right and struck out looking in his first game today. Goes after the first pitch, pops it up, and that will fall. The ball was lost in the sun by both the first and second baseman, and that is a 2-out single.
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, a missed opportunity for the Rangers to get out of the inning unscathed, but Fusco's got another chance with Jonathan Spatola up at bat. First pitch to him misses high and outside. Spatola singled in his first game earlier today for New Jersey. Looks at a fastball in for a called strike. Count even at 1.
This is a nice way to go about it when you're going to do 2 games in a single day, is to have them back-to-back like this.
Yeah, it's
which is what New Jersey is doing.
It's always difficult to play twice in the same day, but have that break in between. You know, because the rhythms are different. There's the desire to take a nap, lose the energy that you had at the beginning of the day. You want to play them back to back if you're going to play 2 in a day. At least that's my personal opinion. 2-1 is in. Count runs even. Deuces are up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 runners on here in the top of the third.
I like this Fusco kid on the mound.
And he likes that offering, which is in for a called strike 3 to end the inning scoreless. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on. We head to the bottom of the third. Rangers ahead, 1-0.
Is how to get that into the hip. Like really just changing up the feel. I gotta go warm up movements. I forgot. It's like you've always been moving. He's always been like that. He's done nothing narrow feet. show them a lot of videos. Look how explosive they are. Look at your hips. Come on, that's why he's hitting the ball as far as he's hitting it.
Thank you.
Get into it. Get into it.
Right. We need you to put jack. We need you to get here.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do we squat so much?
I always show. I love the show.
Michael Kokovic to lead off the bottom of the third for the Taconic Rangers. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. It's a 1-0 lead for the Rangers. Colin Riley back on the bump for his third inning of work.
Probably his last, right?
Yeah, most pitchers in these showcases go a maximum of 3. So
Sure.
for Fusco as well, we probably have seen the last of him. But you really liked what you saw today, Bob, out of Vincent Fusco, as this is served to right for the first out of the inning.
I thought he had good command, and I think he goes about his game on the hill intelligently. He's not just up there throwing. Coaches want to see kids that know how to pitch, or at least are attempting to learn how to pitch, and aren't just throwing it as hard as they can, and are working batters and are kind of picking up on concepts.
Batter at the plate now is Nick Ryan out of Millbrook. He's a class of 2022 catcher. The 1-0 offering to him is fouled straight back. On deck for the Rangers is their leadoff man, Sean Camacho, who I'm told is one of the fastest kids you're going to see at this level. Can really get down the baseline. And we saw it in his first at bat. He grounded out to first, but he even made that interesting. So if he could put the ball anywhere else on the field, I'd love to see him turn on the Jets, put on the PF Flyers, as some colleagues may say.
It had him at 9 stolen bases in his high school season in 53 games played. So it's a little low for a kid that you think is burning up the base paths. But we'll take their word for it. I mean, he's their leadoff guy for a reason, and Ryan goes down on strikes.
So they say Ryan did go around on the swing, so he's gone. 2 strikeouts in the inning now for Riley. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, Riley.
Yeah. So with 2 down, Camacho steps in and swings to the first pitch. Now, you mentioned only 9 stolen bases in 53 games, but I will say I played with a couple guys who were really fast, great base runners, but never took the time to learn how to read pitchers' moves. Because part of the aspect of stealing bases is getting that great jump. There's a lot of fast guys who just never learn the art of reading that first move.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's what he needs to continue to do. I'm just looking at, he does a little pitching as well. At least he did in high school. I assume maybe he does.
As this is skied to left, and a nice grab out there for the final out of the inning. A left fielder for New Jersey. That's number 14, Zachary Rogacki, our man.
Oh, there he
from
is.
behind the plate.
Love it.
In game number 1, flashing the leather with a web gem. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. We head to the top of 4. Rangers ahead, 1-0. I messed up. Yeah, I messed up something there on the lineup card. So, Kokovic, did he? Who led off that inning? It was Kokovic, right? Number 15.
Yeah, I just had it.
I didn't. Yeah, it was a strikeout swinging for Ryan.
Should have a new pitcher here.
Yeah. Right-hander.
42.
Okay. And
Rob Gilchrist.
got it. Right-hander from North Salem. Can't tell if that's on or off.
Looks red to me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't touch that. I think. Oh, Stephen. I gotta talk to him. New wing for the Rangers. It's the right-hander Robbie Gilchrist out of North Salem High School class of 2022. So Fusco goes 3 innings, gave up just 2 hits, no runs, so a solid outing for Vincent Fusco, the left-hander. And we'll see what Gilchrist can do now in relief.
Perfect Game has his top velocity at 77, so he's still trying to kind of max out. That looks a little harder than 77 to me, but okay.
Well, Keenan lays off it for ball 1. Daniel Keenan now, the batter for New Jersey. That misses low. Count runs to 2-0. Keenan out of Jackson Liberty High School, listed at 6 foot, 160 pounds, class of 2021. And Gilchrist able to find the zone there. And for pitchers coming in out of relief, Bob, a lot of times it's just finding that first release point that's in the strike zone to establish that rhythm, find their command early on. As this is bounced to third, the throw across the diamond is in time for out number 1.
It's hard to tell sometimes if it's by accident or by intention, but you know, a couple pitches ago, he put that fastball on the outside corner. I thought that was a good pitch, and this time he challenged him more inside with a breaking ball and got him to pull it kind of weakly there. If that's by intention, I think that's good thinking, and you know, get an idea of the concept of what he wants to do.
Julian Buchman, the batter now, hits a hard liner to center, and that falls for a base knock. So Buchman not hesitating, first pitch swinging, gets a fastball down the zone, and squares it up for a 1-out single.
Okay, and this is Tarafenko, and he started. So we're back to the top.
Yeah, Tarafenko was our leadoff hitter in this second game.
Of our 14 batters on the lineup, right? Yeah.
It's a lot of names to go through.
You told me that they could have up to 15 in the lineup, and I said, oh, come on. I mean, 10 or 11.
They could. I mean,
but you weren't kidding. I didn't believe you.
I prepared these lineup cards specifically in case they might have 15 or 16 guys.
I've got space, so I'm in good shape.
Believe me, I've learned from messing up in the past. This pitch skips low. Runner gets a good read on the ball in the dirt and swipes second. So that's an interesting call from a scoring perspective. It didn't look like Buchman was off with a steal, but he saw before the ball hit the ground it was going to be low and took off on the read.
Right. And so I think that's a wild pitch. Regardless, I think the runner there recognizing that's a sign of a sharp base runner who's watching. Hey, when a breaking ball is going to miss, go. If the catcher picks it cleanly and makes the throw, that's not going to happen a majority of the time. You got beat, and it's going to happen. But if you hesitate to wait for it to come, get past him, then you're not going to make it. And the fact is, if it gets past him, the backstop is like 15 feet behind him at most.
Right,
it's not that far.
Meanwhile, it's a 3-0 count at the plate. Runner goes. The throw down to third is not in time. A great jump by Buchman to get to third base. Wow. The wheels were moving there.
Yeah, he had some heck of a jump on Robbie Gilchrist there, so I don't know if he sees something that's tipping him off or how he's reading him there. I haven't really looked at how quick Gilchrist is to the plate, but Buchman is reading him very well.
The 3-1 misses low, so that will be a reset. Count goes to 2-1. After Tarafenko will be Winsinger. Two 2-1 misses outside, so it's another 3-1 count. This time, though, obviously no reset. Ball 4 would be a walk. One gone in the inning as Keenan grounded out to third to lead off for New Jersey, but Buchman on third now after singling and doing a nice job on the base paths as this is fouled back. sounded like a crack of the bat, but
Yeah. I know. I heard what you heard, but he doesn't think so. So maybe just sort of off the tip.
well, Tarafinko
Yeah,
checking it out.
he's testing
It
it.
sounds
Yeah, that is
sounds
cracked.
broken.
That
so
is.
not
He heard
sure
us.
how. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, if whether or not it was also the umpire saying something to him, glad that he's aware that that bat does have a crack in it. And that's
he didn't
always-
feel it. That's the interesting
Well, the
part.
bat, it didn't shatter at all.
No, but sometimes you can kind of feel that the bat gave, you
Yeah.
know, or had something happen to it. I mean, but it sounded like a broken bat. It doesn't look like it, but
Right.
obviously when he tapped it, we could hear very clearly that it was rattling.
I always hated that feeling as a hitter if that would happen, where you broke a bat and didn't know it, because it made you wonder how often could this happen to me. Obviously, it's a rare occurrence, but the 3-2 is tapped softly to the first base side and through for a base knock. That will plate the run, score it as an RBI single for Tarafinko. So a nice little rally going here for New Jersey in the top of the fourth. Buchan's base running pays off as he scores from third.
I mean, you've got a lot of kids with wood bats, and some are using the aluminum. They get their choice here.
Winziger going with a Marucci wood bat. A slightly open stance. Takes a first pitch low for a ball, and
But you look on deck at Mortalito there. That's aluminum, is it not? I can't
it
see.
looks like a Louisville BB core.
Boy, you know your bats.
I'm just reading the label for.
Yeah.
1-1.
So it's a 1-1 ball game. New Jersey plates the run here for the first time in this game, as this misses inside.
Well, this is our first visit to the mound that we've had.
Yeah, not just in this
So-
game, but all day.
Right. Yeah. This is our third game out of 5, and
So let me check in with you. Let me check in with you, Bob. I got to ask, how you feeling halfway through our day here today? Not just through this game.
I'm
but
feeling like better energy than I expected. Getting up at 5:30 or whatever it was to get up here in time for the first game at 8. And
Right.
showing up a little bit before 8 to do that. No, it's good. I like I love the talent of the kids that are out here, and we have a really good crew. That we had a little time to finally sort of get together a little bit between the last couple of games, and they're working hard. I mean, they've been
Yeah.
there since 6 in the morning.
we got the
setting
easy
up.
job. We just
Right.
got to sit here
Well,
and talk.
Totally.
This pitch fouled straight back, out of play. One gone in the inning, a run home thanks to the RBI single by Tarafinko. It's a 2-1 count at the plate to Winziger, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. That's in for a called strike, count even at 2. Robbie Gilchrist in his first inning of work. He's been in but around the zone occasionally. Has struggled missing low a bit as this is line to third. First out on the catch, second out at the bag. So it's a line out for a double play. Nice defensive effort there by the Rangers to end the inning, but not before New Jersey gets a run on the board. We head to the bottom of the fourth, tied at 1.
And we'll just be careful otherwise, and assume that it's always on. We don't. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I was thinking that. And then I kind of went one way, and once you start, you have to stay there. Thank you. Yes.
Not my son, but mine's on. That's Coe, David Coe.
Right.
That's come two ways. Their talent or ability to develop.
I did. I gave him your right name. I had your back. What was that?
Buckman.
Okay.
that's what's going by the wayside. Because now it's all, well, it's what the computers do. I got kids that play for me, guys that I mentored, that are minor league skippers. They don't like the line. It comes from on level. There has been.
The handcuffing the skipper.
That's all. Which is why some guys have a hard time. For that matter, Joe Girardi.
New pitcher on the mound for New Jersey is number 24, Jake Umans, a left-hander from Homedale. And he'll be facing number 10, Jimmy McCardle.
Art Howe's a good baseman.
First pitch to him is waved at and miss. McCardle, in his first at-bat, struck out swinging. Lefty on lefty matchup. The 0-1 is tapped straight back.
That's a snappy curveball that he has there. That shows a lot of cut.
Listed at just 5'9" is
Little left-hander.
yeah, but he's got the movement to your point on the curveball. Does Jake Umans? Staring in now, taking his time. Gets the sign he likes. The 0-2 looks like he went to a changeup there on the outside part of the plate. Doesn't get the call, but that's a good spot to miss. Trying to get the left-hander to reach out.
On a 2-strike count as well. So it has, perfect game has his velocity topping out at 73. So he's not setting any velo records here.
That is caught by the left fielder for out number 1. Scored as an F7.
Back in the day, way back before my day, it worked for Bobby Shantz, who was a 5'6" tall left-hander and won an MVP award and still alive in the Philadelphia area. I think he's 91 years old now.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and he was a 5'6" tall lefty and immensely popular in his time with the Philadelphia A's and eventually with the Yankees.
Kyle Kremen digs in. He doubled back in the first inning. It was the first hit of the game for the Rangers, but he was stranded there with 2 outs. As this misses outside to him. 1-1 count to him. Kremen, a class of 2021 kid out of Kennedy Catholic High School, and he taps this pitch foul.
You know, we're talking with a couple of the producers here during the games and between games and so forth, and I think they've got the right idea here at BFA. They have a focus on the batters and a focus on the pitchers. This isn't about who wins the game. I mean, you want to have a competitive environment, but this is about showcasing the players. That's why we call it a showcase. And eventually, these videos, and I mean, these showcase events were not always put on the internet. We didn't have video broadcasts of them. And ultimately, they're going to want to turn these into highlight videos. This is their opportunity to show off to other coaches that aren't even here, among the 11 coaches that are. And it's terrific. It's not just the showcase event itself, but the broadcast itself is terrific exposure for these kids, because now it's on YouTube, and you want to get a look at a school in California. Boom, here's my highlights, and if you want to watch me in an entire game, here it is. You can skip forward to whatever at-bat you want. You can watch me strike out, which I'm not putting on my own highlight.
Well, it's funny. We were talking with some of the producers earlier today, and we were saying some of these kids' names, at least I know better than a lot of the major leaguers right now, because this is my 3rd event doing
Well, that's a
baseball for
sportscasting
America.
thing. I mean, there was, what do we have here?
Well, Kremen flies out to center.
I was looking at you, and he hit it into play. I mean, there was a time where I knew Mid-American Conference women's basketball better than the NFL, because I wasn't doing NFL games. I mean, that's a sportscasting thing. That happens.
So 2 gone now in the inning, and that will bring up Adam Agresti, who flew out to left in his first inning.
Your son just took.
Steve's trying to figure it out. Like the mic's not going off. Just kidding. I should say something. Breaking ball misses low. Another bender. This misses again in the dirt.
Yeah, kind of bouncing a couple of them up there and trying to find his best feel.
2-1 count at the plate. Mazzata on deck for the Rangers. 2 away in the inning, both on flyouts to the outfield.
So what I was saying before, this is about the kids. This is about showcasing them, not just for the college coaches who are here, but that's why they're broadcasting these games. That's why we are here in the first place. So that's kind of what our directive is. That's why we sort of take a scouting angle towards our discussion points.
As this is waved at and missed for the final out of the inning. So Umans comes in relief and gets a 1-2-3 scoreless fourth. We head to the fifth. Knotted at 1 here on BFA Productions.
When you shows that I love your philosophy. When you say culture, is that
Means you never know if the talented player you're
a good person? There's goodness in you.
You care about us. That whole thing sounds kind of corny, but goddamn. We had all started. I can't understand what it is. I never will. But I want to hear what you got to say because one of the beautiful parts of this game is when you're out here.
There's no racism. Talent. What they talk about
I mean, you know, my sometimes, yes, there are things that change. I just think he's like, really, I'm not going to break it.
Nicholas Mortalito will lead things off for us here in the top of the fifth inning. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. It's a tie game. We're not at even at 1, but to your point, when we were closing out the inning, Bob, it's not so much about the score here. It's more about the showcase atmosphere, getting a chance to see what these talented young kids can bring to the table for a college program, and a chance for them as well to learn what they need to improve on their individual games.
Well, they want to win as well. I mean, they do. It's not all about that, but the Taconic coach, Robert Fletcher, came up to us and pointed out that the scoreboard was wrong. It said 1-0. It's supposed to be 1-1. They care. Hey, you guys did get that run, right? Well, the scoreboard's wrong, but they know what it is on the field. But that was interesting, I thought, that their coach, yeah, we did have a run. I mean, we still want to win, even though it's a showcase event.
I think it's important, too, to instill in kids coming up the mindset of keeping track of what the game situation is, right? Are we ahead? Are we behind?
Yes.
When we get to the sixth inning, how do we approach at bats knowing if we're ahead or behind 2 runs? Because
are you the tying run on base?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you need to know that throughout all 7 innings and then 9 innings at a higher level of a baseball game. As this is tapped to third, the throw across the diamond is just in time. Mortalito with some good hustle there to make it a close play, but he's unable to leg it out for the infield single, so there'll be 1 out in the inning.
It feels almost as cold now as it did when we started. And it's 60 degrees now, according to my app. I mean, at 8 a.m. it was like 45 or so, but that wind has really kicked up, and we've got a little more shade now.
I would say
it's cold.
I think that's the magic of being in the valley, right? We'll chalk it up to that. With 1 gone, Sam Gates strolls to the plate, takes a first pitch low for a ball.
What are those high socks?
I'm a big fan.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm a big fan of the stirrup look. That's my favorite look in all of baseball. Nothing like the Oakland A's yellow and gold stirrups. 2-0 count at the plate to Gates. He struck out looking in his first at bat. Gilchrist going from the windup. This is served to shallow center.
Ball's in.
Play not made. Ball is down. It's going to go as a single for Gates. A nice effort out there by the center fielder. Just couldn't come up with it on the dive.
He's a tall, lanky kid, is Sam Gates. Oh, he's not as tall as I thought. 5'10" he's listed. And already one of their college commits on the Baseball U New Jersey team. They have 2 college commits. A couple other teams have 4 or 5. And then a couple teams, I want to say the Connecticut teams, bringing no college commits with them.
Right.
They're bringing all the kids that haven't committed as part of the showcase event in front of all the college coaches here. But Sam Gates is on his way to George Washington University, and here he was on his way to first on that little flare into left center.
He's on at first for Zachary Rogacki, who is 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. Takes this pitch high for a ball. And Rogacki, we heard his voice a lot in New Jersey's first game behind the plate. A very encouraging backstop. This misses outside. Count runs, I believe, to 2-0.
Yes, yeah, you got 2-0 right now. We don't have that on the board, and
yeah, just checking with you, partner. Yeah,
I know. How many the number of times I lost the count? I need multiple hands to tell you.
You're not the only one. As this misses down and away.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of looking up some of the guys on Perfect Games, so I'm sort of glancing at the play, but sometimes I'm trying to look up some of the info because I think the background on some of these kids is really interesting, too.
I'm envious of your phone battery right now. I started the day at 100, and the cold knocked mine down to like 5.
You need a new phone.
An hour in. That's what that's telling me.
Gilchrist had that sail on him there on that ball 4, and that's kind of what we saw from that pitcher in the first game, some Haggerty. Trying to find your release point, and is he feeling a little funky there on the mound? Now, that's not dirt on the mound there. That's the turf, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a complete. Okay. It's rare that you see it, but this is a completely turf field.
I hadn't even looked at it before, and I hadn't thought about it, but that is a different feel.
Right.
From what you would be used to.
Well, and for a lot of pitchers, and I don't know what the rules are, I would assume that applies here, a lot of pitchers prefer pitching with spikes versus rubber cleats or shoes. So that factors in as well, as this is taken for a strike.
I'm going to assume that other fields they're playing on in high school and other showcase events and other ballparks, you've got a normal dirt mound. I mean, that is different. That's a really different feel, that kind of spongy turf.
Runner goes. The 2-1 is fouled off down the third baseline.
I don't blame them for doing it. I mean, it takes a lot of maintenance to keep a dirt mound, and even when you have the rest of the field, now you're stuck with the mound. I mean, home plate is one thing, but the mound, then it ends up becoming a different feel. Well, especially with a landing spot, right? Because since it's turf, you mentioned and you're self-conscious about it, and you don't want to slip. I mean, the whole bit. And from some of these kids that are missing high, now I'm kind of getting it. I'm a little slow. Only a couple hours later, I'm getting an idea here. But that can be a factor, and some other guys maybe get used to it a little bit faster. I can guarantee you that a couple of the pitchers that are missing high or walking batters are coming back to the dugout either thinking or saying, "Man, that feels funny." Right. Runner goes. The 3-2 misses upstairs, so it's a walk. Rogacki reaches. It was a reset that made the count, the 2-0 count. Then he works it full and walks after
some more wild pitches.
And this is the Jacob Bulls kid now that we had talked about before, and Joe Seeley on deck. These are a couple of their best players, as evidenced by their selection to the Perfect Game Wood Bat World Championships in Florida next month in October. I want to say October 19th, 20th, something like that. I don't know where they're doing that in Fort Myers. They used to do it in Jupiter. This year it's in Fort Myers. Jupiter is Roger Dean Stadium, where the Cardinals have trained, and I want to say the Nationals are there now. I can't swear to it. And the Red Sox stadium, because they had the Twins at the other stadium in town. No, they're two different stadiums. Yes, so they're at the Red Sox stadium. Okay. October 1st. Okay, terrific. Well, thank you. We're getting feedback from fans who are here that can very obviously overhear us. So,
Mr. Buckman making his way on the
there we go
on the airwaves.
Mr. Buckman, we thank you for the info. I think that's terrific. So you go to the Red Sox spring training site. The Twins are across town. That's why I was in
right.
Two teams in Fort Myers at different stadiums.
Believe me, I don't know the landscape at there at all. As the throw down the third is not in time. The throw was there, but third baseman unable to put the tag down. It was Kyle Kremen who made the catch, but looked like he fell. Although if he's standing upright, he's able to apply that tag. But both runners advance on the stolen base. So it's second and third now for Bulls. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 gone. Infield playing in. Bulls taps one softly to second. The play to first is in time as a runner comes home. The second runner trailing but is not safe. Tagged out at the plate for a double play to end the inning. 1 run comes home on the grounder, but that will be it for New Jersey. They take a 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Showcase Baseball here on BFA Productions.
I think that's one of the things about college. Find out real quick, because on the question we snuck a monster. Usually have 2 and if we go to lunch, we'll go to places
Nicholas Mazzata to lead off here in the bottom of the 5th. Humans in his second inning of work. Chris Markowitz here for BFA Productions alongside Bob Rotruck as this misses low for a ball. And Bob, a competitive ball game between New Jersey and the Taconic Rangers. It's been nothing but competitive baseball here today on BFA Productions.
What do we have? 3-1 and 2-1 and now 1-1, right? And well played baseball too.
2-1 now after the one that came home.
3-1, 2-1, and 2-1. Right.
Right. And by the way, that was one of the more interesting plays to end an inning I've ever seen. A 4-3-2 RBI double play. I mean, is it technically an RBI because of the double play?
I think that it's technically an RBI. I couldn't swear to it. I used to know these things a little bit better. But that's a hustle play with a runner at second who gets to leave on contact there with 2 outs, who's trying to score on a ground out, see if he can catch him, not napping per se, but see if he can catch him. And it took a good play to get him. I mean, they had to execute it.
As Mazada skies one to center field for out number 1.
He might have been going for a little much there by trying to score from second on that, but that's hustle, that's fun. That's a guy that's not just jogging up to third when there's a ground out and an RBI. He's trucking it, and he's a guy that you can tell from his talking earlier that we've chatted about some. But then on a play like that, he's a kid who loves to play.
Right.
He loves to play the game, keep his head in the game, because you're standing out there at second forever. So it's not exciting, but you're on your toes and you're itching and coming to score. He's a kid that loves to play.
Benjamin Tulo now in at the box, 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to third. The 0-1 to him is a curveball that misses low. Home plate umpire checks down to first to see if he swung, but first base umpire said he did not. The 1-1 is in on the corner. Nice spot there.
I've got Tulo as a 2001 date of birth, and most of these kids are 04 or 05. I mean, I wonder if he missed a year or if that's a typo.
Ball tapped to third. Yeah, that's got to be a typo as Tulo unable to dig it out. Good hustle down the line, but the throw in time to get him for out number 2.
It doesn't make sense to be, 19,
no, he
right?
Can't be. That would make him 19.
Okay, so he's not. Yeah, he wouldn't be. I think it's probably 2004. Yeah, he's class of 2022. All right, so the birth date on the roster faked me out. 16 years and 5 months, so that would be 2004. Problem solved. So he is not a much older player than everyone else here.
Right. I was going to say, if that was the case,
Right.
I don't know if he'll be playing after the umpire hears us having this chat. So.
Just a typo for Tulo there.
So with 2 gone, Brendan Biseglia steps in. 1-1 count on him. He walked in his only plate appearance today. The 1-1 misses outside. On deck for the Rangers is Phil Massia. (3-1) now after that curveball misses in the dirt.
Well, Lumens hasn't given up a base runner here.
3-1 fouled straight back. Yeah, he's been impressive in relief, working with some good tempo. He's had good command. As this game started right around 12:14.
Right.
We'll say 12:13, 12:14, that time period. So it's been about an hour and 20 minutes thus far. As we're here in the bottom of the 5th. That misses high, so it'll be a reset to a 2-2 count. And remember, this game was originally slated to start at 12:20, so we actually began the game a little bit early. So we'll see if that has any effect on the time limit, as this is laced to left field for a 2-out single.
Yeah, that gives them a little buffer time that they were able to start a little earlier, because the previous game was a pitcher's duel that ended a little earlier. Good piece of hitting there by Brendan Biseglia.
That was a frozen rope to the outfield, and it sets up Phil Massia with a runner on first and 2 gone. He looks at a first pitch offering for a ball. Massia, back in the second inning, had an RBI single, which scored Nicholas Mazada for the Rangers' sole run of the ball game. Runner goes. Pitch misses outside. Throw not in time, and it's a stolen base for Biseglia.
Yeah, he's got good speed. Let's let's see, I got his 60-yard dash at 7.25, so he's booking it. And gets a good jump there, too.
Pitch missed, so it's a 2-0 count. Off-speed pitch misses low. On deck is Nico Batke. But this is the man you want up at the plate if you're the Rangers. Massia with the RBI single earlier today. Rips this one into the outfield for a base knock. Runner will come home. The throw to the plate is in time. A nice tag at home by the catcher.
That's Figliolino, right? 6?
Yes, Joseph Figliolino
That's a
puts
heck of
the
a
tag on him for the final out of the inning. The Rangers held scoreless as we go to the top of the 6th. New Jersey ahead 2-1. New wing for the Rangers is number 4, Andrew Speranza.
With a lot of wind coming in.
I'm sure you could hear it coming in to our microphones. A strong gust out from center field. Speranza, a left-hander in the class of 2023 from Spackenkill High School. He'll be facing Joe Celia. Celia 0 for 1 in this game with a strikeout looking. Big cut at the first offering, but swings through it.
Celia hit that home run, in the first game. Can we talk about the throw from Julian Buckman now that we know the correct pronunciations? I mean, it's a heck of a play by the catcher, but that was
on a straight line from the outfield. A dart by Julian Buckman. As this is hit in the air, straight to center for out number 1. And an aggressive move there by the Rangers to try to send the runner. It was a soft hit ground ball that just got through the infield. It had to be a perfect throw, though, by Buckman, and it was.
It was a little in front of the plate, and the catcher had to come back and make a terrific tag. But and that was Figliolino that did that. That's a good play on both ends. I mean, it took a really good play, good execution to get him. So I don't blame him for sending him.
Well, and runs, you got to get them while you can, as it's now the top of the 6th.
Make the other team execute is the idea. And, look, give them a chance to showcase their defensive abilities if they got them. It's a showcase for everyone. You don't have to play overly conservative. Let's have some fun, and let's make them throw you out.
Nick Vaughn now the batter for New Jersey. He has a single here today back in the 3rd as he fouls the 1-0 straight back. Top of the 6th, and never want to put the jinx on it, but the pace of play here in this game has been pretty solid.
We've seen a lot of good pitching. Some good defense too.
1-1 is in there for a called strike too. Yeah, it's been
dropped that alarm slot a little on that.
Left-hander mixing in the slots. We'll see if he comes back with an off-speed pitch here. It is a breaking ball, but that bounces in the dirt. On deck is David Cohen, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The 2-2 ripped to left center field and down for a knock. Vaughn gonna round first, head to second, and he'll be there standing with a double. So Nick Vaughn, 2 for 2 in the game, and he sets up David Cohen with a one-out RBI chance.
I just noticed these fans out here in left field, way out in the seats over there. My view is kind of partially obstructed. I didn't see them before.
Right.
That's way out there.
Looks-
Social distancing, I guess, right?
Hey,
They got their own
they
section.
got a good view from the outfield.
Yeah, you're in the sun. Yeah, good call. Good point.
To that point, they are in the sun out in center compared to us. A lot chillier back here behind home plate.
It's cold, man.
Hey, I only have to be here today, so you're in for something tomorrow. Let me tell you.
I can make it. I can hack it.
That's why you're a professional, Bob. Right? It's the ability to
Professional what?
to combat the elements. That takes years and years of experience. Cohen swings through this offering for strike 2. 0-2 count at the plate. Vaughn on at second base. Speranza comes set. Now he steps off. Vaughn taking a late addition to his lead. And there's that wind again, that gust of wind blowing in. Now from it feels like right field. Wind swirling here at Shout Stadium. 0-2 misses high and outside.
I mean, we're a little bit up in the mountains, and that wind kicks up, and it's just a windy day on the general.
Remember, we still have 2 games to go here on our slate.
It's supposed to get warmer as the day goes on, but it didn't. At least it doesn't feel like it.
Not from where we're sitting, as this misses high. Count runs even at 2. So still have a couple innings to go here in game number 3 of the day, but coming up after this will be BUPA Telep taking on Connecticut Black. That's slated to start around 2:30. As this pitch misses low, gets away from the catcher. Vaughn on his way to third, and he'll reach on the wild pitch. So Nick Vaughn 90 feet closer to scoring as he stands on third base. The 3-2 is in for a called strike 3. So
Good pitch.
yeah, Cohen frozen on the fastball, retired for out number 2.
I'm looking up Joe Figliolino and his high school stats. Where is he? Christian Brothers Academy, right? Yeah, and the 357 batting average when they actually got to play high school ball. It says 6 games played, so I think this is the beginning of that season before they got cut short. I mean, maybe they got in a few games.
Right.
Or they only have 6 games on record at max preps, which happens a lot as
All
well.
the time.
Yeah, right.
Figliolino 0 for 1 in the game with a flyout to right. Takes the breaking ball for a called strike 2. Speranza way ahead, 0-2 in the count. He comes set and deals. This breaking ball is served right back up the middle for a 2-out, 2-strike RBI single.
He saw that well because it looked like it was going to miss high, and he recognized that that's coming back into his wheelhouse, and he just drilled it. I mean, I thought it was going to miss upstairs, and He didn't. He knew it was going to be right there. He was ready for it.
Got a good read on the breaking ball that was called strike 2, so made the adjustment, sent it right back up the middle for an RBI. Another run on the board for New Jersey. They lead 3-1. The batter now is Vincent Versace, who singled back in the third. Is fouled straight back.
Well, now our pace is a little different.
Yeah, game start.
all right. Yeah,
Still
we're
a
okay.
little bit in
No,
the
yeah,
sixth,
we're
but
okay.
can't complain as we started this one a little bit early.
I mean, you got a lot of good hitters on these teams. So, and some guys using aluminum bats too. You could easily have a 10-7 game. We haven't had any of that. Even with 6 batters, the max in an inning, you could still have a lot of rallies. We've just had, except for Joe Celia's home run earlier, we've had a lot of little scratching and a lot of little ball for the few runs that we've had, which have been kind of few and far between mostly.
It's also been a solid display of pitching. A lot of talented arms here at this showcase, which you love to see that. 2-1 count at the plate. And Speranza misses inside.
I think it's worth repeating because, hey, we're on for, off and on for 10 hours. So we can, we can go back to some concepts here from one game to the next. But we have 11 colleges in attendance today that for this baseball showcase. And some of these kids, a few of them are already college commits. Most of them are not and are hoping that they can get that opportunity via Baseball University or whatever other program that they're with joining us for this event. 11 colleges here today checking out the talent.
Move to first is not in time. A slow move there by Speranza. Just keeping an eye on the runner over at first. Figliolino has to stay honest. Speranza steps off. Really taking his time here before climbing back on the rubber. This is tapped off the plate and foul.
He's really focused on coming plateward quickly with the runner at first. Even in a 2-2 count or now 3-2 count with 2 outs, the runner gets the head start. Maybe his delivery gets a little different, but look how quick that, he kicks it high and he's really trying to come home fast.
The payoff is fouled straight back. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. There's 2 gone in the inning, and it's a 3-2 count. Shouldn't the runner be taking off from first?
Oh, was he not?
Unless perhaps Figliolino's not sure what the count is, which could. I mean, I will.
Well, you've got the ball 4 thing, so
that's what I'm saying. Does that
right.
factor in here?
There it goes.
Runner goes this time, and it's waved through and missed the pitch for strike 3. So that will be the final out of the inning. Another run on the board for New Jersey, thanks to an RBI single by Joseph Figliolino. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Rangers coming to bat, trailing by 2. Nico Batke to lead it off for the Rangers here in the bottom half of the 6th. First pitch to him is a breaking ball that misses outside from Jake Umans, who is in his 3rd inning of work. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. New Jersey with a 3-1 lead as this is hit softly in the air towards second, and it falls. A diving effort over in the outfield by the second baseman for New Jersey, but he cannot make the play.
He gave a little leap for it there and couldn't quite come up with a nice effort. Gave it a try.
So we'll score that as single, as it took a spectacular effort just to get the glove on the ball. With nobody out and a run on first, John Munoz digs in and fouls off the first pitch. Munoz struck out swinging in his first at-bat back in the 2nd inning. So the Rangers trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. They've been aggressive on the base paths, or at least they were last inning when, with 2 outs, Phil Massia singled softly to the outfield. And the Rangers decided to send home Brendan Biseglia from second base, but he was thrown out on a nice shoot by Julian Buckman from left field. So we'll see if the Rangers remain aggressive, down 2 here. The 1-2 offering hits softly to center, and that will fall. So back-to-back singles for the Rangers. They have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Sometimes when we're looking at the defense, we can't see all the numbers and we can't tell who's out there because they're rotating around so much throughout the game. And that's by design. They want to get everybody different looks and different reps, and this is to the player's benefit. If you can play second base and shortstop and center field,
right,
that makes you more valuable than if you're a single position player. And that goes not just for your college development, but all the way up to the pros. And that's the thing now, is to have that flexibility. And on top of that, to be able to play on both sides of the diamond if you're an infielder, because you're going to get shifted over because shifts are a thing. And they're good. I don't know if they're a thing in college baseball. We haven't really seen significant shifts here. Well, you're gonna in the pro level, minor leagues, all the time, because that's what they're going to do in the major leagues. If you're a shortstop, you better know how to play in shallow right field on the overshift.
It'll be an 0-2 offering to Michael Kokovich, and he looks at a breaking ball for a called strike 3. That had some nice late bite to it that caught the corner.
Really good pitch, yeah. Definitely. I like the movement on that.
So with 1 down and runners on first and second, Nick Ryan digs in, 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging in the 3rd. First pitch to him is in for a strike.
So I'm talking about positions there, and that's what we had with the team that I was with last summer, and they didn't get to play minor league baseball, but with the Phillies minor league club in Williamsport, they have a first rounder named Bryson Stott. So he's highly hyped. He's a first rounder. He plays shortstop. He shows up in Williamsport. All right, we'll get you shortstop. Guess what? Today you're playing third. You better take some grounders over there. And I asked him, when's the last time you played third? He said, I don't know if I've ever played there.
Wow.
But the Phillies want him to learn. And you're going to make errors over there? Fine. It's minor league ball, and we don't care. They want him to have that flexibility to play third, short, second, even though he's played nothing but shortstop pretty much his whole life.
Right.
And that's a first rounder. These kids need to have greater utility to play the multiple positions like that.
It's a 1-2 count at the plate to Ryan as the 0-2 offering missed just a bit low. Umas has been around the zone consistently in this inning. His 1-2 misses high.
That's a good pitch on the 1-2. I mean, it didn't miss by much. It's close enough to get him to chase after it. We've had some really good discipline from a lot of these batters. I mean, we've seen them chase a couple, but not many. they're laying off some really close ones.
A lot of patience, to your point, by some of these young hitters. The 2-2 is looked at for strike three, so back-to-back backwards Ks for Umans.
Yeah. Well, and on that one, it's a 2-2 count. Is he going to waste another? And it looked like Ryan was kind of thinking breaking ball there, and the fastball just snuck past him. I don't know that, but kind of felt like that to me. Just sort of had that look.
Yeah, caught him off guard there. So with 2 gone and runners on first and second, Sean Camacho digs in 0 for 2. So Umans, he allowed back-to-back singles to start the inning.
Let's see. Is this Camacho? Yes, you're right. Good call.
Yeah, he was sporting that number 12, that Dodger red number 12 on the bottom left of the front side of their jerseys for the Rangers as he lays off the 0-1 offering. But for Umans, he's the first 2 batters in this inning, single, but then he settled back in with strikeout. This is the top of the order, so a real test here with 2 outs. Big spot. Rangers trailing by 2. They need at least a run here. Pickoff move to second.
Not that it isn't the case when it's a strikeout swinging, but when it's a strikeout looking and he has them back-to-back, I feel like that's a matter, usually, the pitcher outsmarted the batter. He fooled him. There's a reason why you were frozen with 2 strikes when you have the mindset of being aggressive and you still couldn't pull the trigger. The pitcher fooled you.
The 1-1 wave through. Camacho shaking his head. Frustrated with his effort there, but that's a deceptive breaking ball by Umans. It really bends late in its approach to the plate. Another move to second. I was going to
say that's a good healthy lead at second. He was halfway towards third practically. I mean, he was way down there.
Yeah, Nico Batke, getting a lot of turf. Big time separation between him and the bag. Now he goes. Both runners go, but Camacho swings through the bender for strike 3. So the first 2 batters of the inning single, but Umans able to come back, striking out 3 consecutive to get out of the jam. We go to the 7th. New Jersey ahead, 3-1 here on BFA Productions.
Is this where all the dads are?
Jonathan Spatola will lead off for New Jersey here in the top half of the 7th and final frame of Game 3. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. And it's been a great 2 and pretty much 6/7 of baseball so far for us.
Game 3 of 5.
Yeah.
Let's be specific here. This is a lot, and it's good.
I'm having fun with it. I know you are too, Bob. Hope the viewers at home can say the same, as we've got a couple more hours with you. So stick around. We're not going anywhere. The only place I'm going between innings is to grab a nice cup of hot chocolate or something to stay warm.
Well, this kid, Jonathan Spatoli, is a basketball player as well, it would appear. So,
Oh, a little hooper.
yeah. A smart stud.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're getting a
well,
scouting report now.
Yeah, looks like he's averaging around 15 points a game
Ooh,
or so
wow.
at Marlboro as a sophomore. That's pretty legit.
Gonna have to play a game of horse with him later.
Yeah.
The 3-0 offering to him misses high.
And so that's the count reset again. It's
So
worth reiterating. It's a
we're
crazy
having
concept.
we're having a side conversation right now.
Sure.
I love it. As the 2-0 makes it a 3-0 count again. We might have to give up this microphone when Julian Buckman comes up third in the inning. We like to get Mr. Buckman's opinion on that at bat. The 3-0 in for a called strike. On deck is Daniel Keenan. 3-1 misses outside, so Spatola reaches with a lead-off walk.
That's another. I mean, he's leaning into that. That's another good eye, close pitch, tempting, and kids that are laying off and showing some serious plate discipline. And for I don't watch a lot of high school baseball, so I probably have some incorrect perceptions, but I expected a little more swinging all over the place. If it's close, then give it a hack, and why not? But I mean, it's some serious smart kids, which I'm going to guess is the philosophy of some of these travel programs in Baseball U. It only makes sense.
Right.
I mean, you can tell. All you got to do is look.
Runner goes from first. The throw down not in time. It's a strike on the swing, but a stolen base for Spatola. And a great book to read. I think anybody who's getting into baseball, especially at high school, I read it, is Ted Williams' The Science of Hitting. And in The Science of Hitting...
You read that?
So of course.
I mean, that's one of the classics.
I mean, he's the greatest. And he outlines, look, a pitcher has to throw 3 pitches by you. So if the first 2 aren't in a zone where you're gonna knock the cover off the ball, why even bother? If you're a good enough hitter, you could protect with 2 strikes. So it's this philosophy of find a pitch that you could hit for the first 2. If you get to a 2-strike count, you got to trust yourself enough to foul some off and stay alive.
Yeah, he makes it seem a little easier.
It is Ted Williams.
But
it is a man with 15-20 vision, or however that works.
Right.
2015,
That's right.
I don't even know.
2015 is correct, yes. I think we have 1 and 2 here on Keenan.
Yeah, 1 and 2 after the foul. As the fastball to him misses inside. Speranza wanted the call, didn't get it. Good spot to miss, though, in on the hands. Mixing up location. The 2-2 misses up and in. Count full. Now
This is our last game and last innings of the day with Baseball U, New Jersey, and John Wells, their coach, who started the Baseball U program, which is obviously spread like wildfire. And we have a couple Connecticut teams that are here today that'll be playing next. It's an impressive group of programs, and we have Baseball U, Philly, Scranton, New Jersey, Connecticut, along with some other different travel programs and teams. But he's proud of what he has. And you had touched on this earlier. We didn't really get a chance to explore it. I want to say that we got to an inning break there. But a different idea that you had approached, Chris.
As the 3-2 is in for a called strike 3. One gone in the inning.
Most of these kids, they can get college scholarships, but they might not turn pro. And they have, John Wells tells me from their website as well, their motto is scholarships are more important than trophies. I mean, they're developing character, they're making some good baseball players here. They're
Right.
proud of the kids that have gotten to the major leagues, but most of the players will not make it to the major leagues, but through baseball they're going to have an opportunity to get that baseball scholarship. At least some of them will. It's a huge opportunity that they're presenting, and they still have that long shot to get to the major leagues, or a better shot to become professional players and get to the minor leagues, get drafted, get looked at. There's a lot of pride in what these organizations do, and there's a lot of hours
Right.
that not just the kids, but the coaches and the guys that run the programs. Takes dedication. This is Buckman here, who had that terrific throw a couple innings ago from left.
Yes, he did. He's in at the plate with a 2-strike count. 0-2 on him. With an RBI chance, 1 gone in the inning. It's Spatola on second base. Spatola goes. Throw down to third. Not in time as the pitch missed inside for a ball. So Spatola got a good jump.
Yeah, he definitely did. And then it goes to show how serious they are about their programs and about showcasing their kids by, as we said before, by putting these broadcasts on. I mean, they're spending a little extra money to have these games produced and put them on the air. That's how serious they take it. They want these kids to be broadcast and to be seen, and not just play against each other and get better, but play against each other, get better. And for whoever wants to get on YouTube and watch them, now any coach, college coach, can see them. Any scouts, any recruiters, it's right there because they're spending the extra dough to have the games broadcast like this.
And it hasn't just been this weekend. It's been all summer. Starting in July, we've done tournaments working with them. So it's been a great summer as this is swung through and missed for out number 2.
Chased a little bit of a high away fastball there. So, you got to get aggressive with 2 strikes. He looked at a couple right on that count, on that at bat. So you get fooled sometimes. That's what happens.
So 2 gone in the inning now, and with a runner on third for New Jersey, Tarafenko steps in. 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the 4th as this pitch misses high to him. An insurance run at third base. Nicholas Tarafenko trying to get him home. Andrew Speranza trying to keep New Jersey off the board here in the 7th. Give his batters a chance to rally for the win in the bottom half of the frame. It's an important insurance run because think about it. With a 6-batter limit, very difficult to plate 3 or more runners in an inning.
Yeah, right, with 6 batters as the max. Right.
Not impossible, but it's asking for a lot. This pitch misses outside. I believe it's a 3-0 count.
Yeah, that's what I have it as, yes.
So time is called. The Rangers catcher John Munoz goes out to the mound to talk things over with his lefty hurler.
Well, we're approaching our time constraint, too, eventually. And our next game at 2:30, and we'll see one of our first Connecticut team of the day. They brought 2 teams. They have Baseball U Connecticut Black and Baseball U Connecticut Orange. That's a couple of under 17 teams with no college commits. They might be a little bit overmatched against a couple of under 18 teams, but it's that they want to be overmatched. That's obviously that's what they're intending. They want the 17-year-old kids to be challenged, the under 17s.
3-0 is in for a called strike. Yeah, I think to your point, it's all about the challenge. It's about seeing that next level of competition and getting used to the fact that, hey, as talented as you are relative to your age group, there's always somebody better. And right, in the game of baseball, in the game of life, it's about figuring out ways to compete with the best of the best. The 3-1 misses high. Tarafenko thought about it, but kept his hands back, so that resets the count to 2-1.
What you have here are, 3 or 4 of the best players from each of the high schools, for the most part, playing against each other. I mean, and so the level of competition overall is going to be higher than within the high school season. The travel season, it's tougher, and you see that in AAU basketball and everywhere else.
Runner goes from third, and he is tagged out.
Wow.
So a stolen base attempt at home ends the inning.
Don't see those every day.
That is very rare. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Rangers coming to bat trailing by 2 with last licks in mind. Vincent Versace is on the mound now for New Jersey here in the bottom half of the 7th, looking to close out the game. He'll be facing the Taconic Rangers 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Jimmy McCardle will lead off 0 for 2 with a strikeout and fly out to left field.
So Versace has himself quite the scouting report on the Perfect Game website, and with his hitting and with his pitching, smooth and easy delivery with a slow building tempo. all the scouting language there, but whoever was watching him seemed to, from Perfect Game and filed this report, seemed to kind of like him. Fastball topping at 74 last they looked at him, so needs to build on his velocity.
His 1-1 misses low and away.
Let's see, slight load of hips at the top of a waist. High leg kick, leg lift, clean drive line to the plate. That's what these guys are looking for. You got a hitch in your delivery, and then now you're going to be a little more reluctant to really jump on board with a guy. If you're fluid, coaches are going to like you.
It amazes me, too, that coaches they'll be willing to work with a guy who has a smooth delivery.
Right.
It's not so much about velocity if they think that your mechanics are there and they can just work with you to add velocity now.
The mechanics as well as the intelligence. You get a couple of the pieces right. Now, if you've got a blazing fastball and you're all over the place, okay, now you got to try to teach them some smarts.
As this is nubbed just foul. Would have been a close play at first, but McCardle will come back to the box, do it all again with a 3-2 count.
So our next game is scheduled for, what did we say, 2:30. So
yeah, that's going to be a quick turnaround.
A little bit.
Nub third base side.
Unless they end up delaying it by a couple of minutes, which could certainly happen. This one started a little earlier, and we were actually kind of humming right along and hit a little slower pace a little bit later. So 7 innings or 2 hours for each of the games. That's just to keep it moving.
As this is tapped to second base, the throw over to first is in time for out number 1. A nice play there by Nicholas Mortalito, who's been doing it with the glove all day long.
Yeah, he made that terrific diving catch to his left on a line drive in the previous game, correct? Not in this
Yes.
game. Yeah.
So with one gone, Kyle Kremen digs in, swings at the first pitch. Kremen doubled back in the first, flew out to center back in the fourth, so he's 1 for 2. Batting in the 3-hole for the Rangers today with that yellow metal Rawlings bat, it looks like.
Yeah, some of the kids with the wood bats and some with the metal bats.
Adam Agresti on deck. He looks like he has the same bat.
Yeah, I think it's the same one.
The 2-1 is fouled back into the glove.
Well, he looks like he has slightly better velocity than, what did I say, 77?
And you never know when that is last
yeah, if it's a
reported.
year ago and then you're adding another 4 or 5 miles an hour as you get stronger, that's possible. And sometimes my eyes deceive me, and I think a kid is faster than what he really is.
You know what makes it always makes a pitcher seem like he's sounding faster? The pop of the glove. For whatever reason,
Right.
if the glove's popping, I always think it's a couple miles per hour harder. As this is nubbed down the left field line and fair for a base hit. Misplayed out in the outfield. The throw to second is not in time. Kremen.
He almost came off the bag there. He stayed on.
Yeah, good, that's a good job by you, Bob, to keep an eye there, because I wasn't even paying attention, assuming he's there. But
It's a slip and slide, I'm telling you.
sounds like an idea for after the game.
Yeah.
I might get out there and test it out in my jeans.
Yeah.
So with one gone, Kremen's on at second with a double, his second 2-base knock of the ball game. And Adam Agresti steps in 0 for 2. That pitch is in at the knees. So the Rangers still alive in this ball game, trailing by 2. A base hit makes things interesting. The 0-1 is tapped to third. Throw across is in time for out number 2. So Nicholas Mazzata will be the last hope for the Rangers. 0 for 1 with a walk back in the second and a flyout to center field in the 5th inning. First pitch to Mazzata is hit up the middle, deflected. Shortstop fires across to first in time, and that will do it. Final out of the game, and it's going to be a 3-1 victory for the Taconic Rangers over Team New Jersey. So that'll do it for us here in Game 3. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck will step away, but coming up next at right around 2:30, you will have BUPA Talep taking on BU Connecticut Black. Game 4 of the day, as it's going to be BUPA Talep playing host to BU Connecticut Black. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. And Bob, 3 games under our belt. Here comes number 4.
Hot dog. Josh Botker on the hill.
His first pitch misses high for a ball. Botker listed at 6 foot, 160 pounds, out of Wilkes-Barre Area High School. So a local product for Team Talep.
This is Michael Coyne batting for the Connecticut Black 17 under team.
Coyne wearing jersey number 32. An infielder listed at 5'11", class of 2022. Takes a 1-1 offering low in the dirt. Now, this Connecticut team is a 17U roster, Telep 18U, but there's some youth on both these squads. As the 2-1's in for a called strike. Shadows starting to creep in from the third base side onto the field, and we'll see if that affects the batter at all.
I guess there is a little bit of shadow there on the plate, so it could.
As this is skied straight in the air, back behind home plate, and unable to make a play.
Yeah, kind of up against the fence there. So
Yeah.
a little tricky.
That's a tough play for the backstop. So the count remains even at 2. That was Aiden DeLucy who tried to make a play up against the fence. The 2-2 offering is a curveball tapped softly to short. The throw across the diamond is in time for out number 1. So a good
Now, is that Shalott out there at shortstop? Gavin Shalott, number 13. It
That
looks like it.
is Gavin Shalott out of North Pocono High School, and he has an exciting future ahead of him.
Well, and he fielded that ball smoothly, and this is why, just you got a quick look at it. It would appear why he's at least highly coveted here. Just smoothly fielding that ball. He's a commitment to Louisiana State. I mean, that's obviously a big-time program for such a young kid, too.
Going into what will be just his sophomore campaign in high school baseball is now...
Yeah, he's a class of 2023. Wow.
Right? Just a young pup, already committed to a major program. Meanwhile, John Heitzman in at the plate. Takes this pitch low. Count runs to 2-1.
Out of Fairfield Ward High School in Connecticut. That's where a lot of these Baseball U Connecticut kids are from, the western Connecticut Fairfield area.
Listed at 5'11", class of 2022. Sends this pitch foul down the third base side and out of play.
Long run for nothing.
Got to get your cardio in somehow on a day like this, though.
We were talking about the analytics and so forth, and we can talk about Gavin Shalott a little bit later, but, I mean, we've got the spin rate on his curveball from his pitching because
Wow.
they have that.
Of course they have it now.
They have that technology for some of the events, and it's not for every event, but for at least one of the events, they had that. They put it up on Prep Baseball Report. I've got his spin rate on his curveball for a kid who I think is maybe 15. I mean,
That is remarkable.
It's incredible what we have today.
2-2 is tapped to second. Ball is bobbled. Heitzman will reach on the error.
So we haven't had a whole lot of those today. I mean, we've had a couple of errors on missed throws, but missing ground balls like that looked like they were pretty routine. I don't think we've had any of those until this one.
Yeah, for the most part on the turf, it's been, a relatively clean effort with the glove, but errors are bound to happen as Heitzman's on at first. That brings up Maiko Cardona, the 3-hitter, and he ropes one down the line. This one's fair. Digging around second and heading to third is Heitzman. They're going to wave him in. The throw is never going to get him. He walks home, and it's an RBI double for Maiko Cardona.
We talk about exit velocity and all the different analytics. He roped that one. That was coming out hot. Maiko Cardona had good bat speed, good contact, and he crushed it into the left field corner. And, it wasn't a home run, but I wonder if that's the hardest hit ball we've had today. It certainly sounded loud. I mean, right off the bat, you knew that was exciting.
Yeah, to your point, I want to get the exit velo on that one. That ball touched down in the outfield in a hurry as this is smoked to right field for another knock. Runner's going to have to hold it. It was hit too hard. Throw gets away up the first base line, and that will allow Brett Davino to reach second base with a single. He advances on the throw.
What was I saying about the under-17 kids being challenged here? I mean, they're smoking it. They're hitting it very hard.
So just one gone in the inning, a run home, runners on second and third, and Alberto Cantolini digs in. First pitch to him bounces low.
That's a nice little scramble play for the catcher there to keep it from getting too far.
Yeah, Botcher a little rattled here as he's being jumped on here in the first inning. Went from having 2 quick outs to an error on that
Right.
ground ball to second. And now that's transformed the inning as just 1 gone. The last 2 batters have gotten some hard hit base knocks.
Cannellini from Torrington, Connecticut, and Northwestern Regional High School.
The 2-1 is hit high in the air to deep left field. And the runner, for some reason, does not tag, and that is going to cost Connecticut a run.
He thought that was going to be off the fence. Frankly, I did too. But the runner needs to be more mindful, and he knows he goofed.
Right.
If he doesn't know, then the coach is going to be there to tell him that he goofed, which is part of the idea of being part of Baseball U in the first place. You make a mistake, and then you learn from it, and you get better next time around. Cannellini, 17 and 0 months. So he just turned 16 rather. He just turned 16.
Wow, a young pup as...
And I mean, so he's practically...
It's 1 hop off the wall, but that will score 2 more. Castragata rounding second, on his way to third, and he slides in safely with a 2-out RBI triple. And that should end the inning on a 6-batter limit. It does, but an explosive beginning to the game for Connecticut. 3 runs on the board will head to the bottom of the frame, a 3-0 lead. Chris Markowitz here with Bob Roadtruck on BFA Productions.
Saving lives. Boy, 6-1. I'll put it in the notes.
No asterisks next to that one.
Heads up.
You can get them low.
No, you're good. You're 2 out of 3. I mean, it's not, I know you're a small target over there. No wingspan. Get it in my area. Here you go. Oh, jeez. They're peppering you.
I think we might have just got they got to be careful on the first base when they got sensitive baseballs.
Vertical. It's Yip City right now.
No. Hey, Jay.
Jeremy Cawley will lead off the bottom of the first for Team Taleb. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Roadtruck here for BFA Productions. An explosive start to this game by Team Connecticut Black as they put a 3-spot on the board and reached the 6-batter limit. The first team today in our 4th game to reach that 6-batter limit.
Yeah, that's our biggest rally that we've had all day.
First pitch of the game for Trace Florio is in for a called strike.
Yeah.
Florio, a left-hander.
Now he's listed at 5'10". I feel like he might be a little taller than that now.
Definitely has some length. Good run to his fastball. Cawley 5'7", 145 pounds, but just a class of 2023er, so another young pup playing here in this game. On deck will be Matt Shaw. And in the 3-hole is Gavin Shalott. So the first 3 batters here for Team Taleb all going into their sophomore campaigns. A very
something.
young roster for Taleb as well.
Yeah, that's great experience for them also against these older kids who.
Bat here by Cawley to get things started. This is the job of a leadoff hitter, not just to set the table, but to foul off pitches, make the opposing arm work, and let the guys who are waiting to hit see all that they can expect.
There's ball 4, yeah.
And that, that's upstairs for ball 3 because of the reset.
I beg your pardon. I thought we were at ball 3 already again. Okay.
Well, technically that's ball 5.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was ball 6. Okay.
Well, that's in for a called strike 3. Cawley down looking for out 1.
We got here at, this is a 5-game day. This is game 4. We started at 8 a.m. We've been doing this for now 7 hours. We're at 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Doesn't it's. I don't always broadcast 7 hours straight worth of games. I wouldn't say time has been flying, but it hasn't felt like 7 hours to me sitting out here in the cold and the wind.
I'll tell you what, I mean, based on where the sun is, I'm not saying it's close to setting yet, but we were here when the sun was coming up on the east, and now it's going down to the west.
It was still dark. I mean, it hadn't even really gotten up yet at 8 o'clock. And, I mean, the last game is scheduled to start, I believe, at 4:40, so we're going to go to 6:40. I mean, that's sunset.
Right.
We're going to be very close to turning on the lights here by the end of it. And then I get to do it again tomorrow.
The 1-1 to Matt Shaw is in for a called strike. Yeah, that's all you tomorrow. You and Ray Dunn. I'm only working the first shift today.
I will come dressed a little bit warmer than I did today.
There we go. As this is hit back up the middle. Nice play by Florio, who flips over to first for out number 2.
He kind of took that and he did a little spinorama before he took it over to first base there. All right, now here's the young kid, Gavin Shalott, a sophomore who's already a commit to play collegiately at Louisiana State. Now, sometimes the commits, end up changing in preference for the program or for the player himself, the student athlete himself. But that really tells you something about this North Pocono prospect and product that LSU has already snagged him.
Takes a look at the 1-0, and it's inside as he tiptoes out of the way.
And, okay, he's 15 years old and 5 months, and he made a really smooth-looking play at shortstop in the first inning. I mean, you just like how he attacked the ball with confidence.
The 2-0 misses upstairs, so good plate discipline in this at-bat by Shalott. On deck is Casey Serene. So it'll be a reset count, back to 2-0.
Oh, that was ball 4, right.
Second reset for Trace Florio in the inning.
Now, while I thought looked smooth at short,
fouls this back, count goes to 2-1.
He's batting in the 3-hole, so they like his bat. At 15 years old, he already has a fastball of 85 when he's on the hill. So LSU might have an idea of which position they prefer him at, but that's not going to be set in stone because it looks like he's a pretty good player, pitcher and shortstop, and at the dish.
Swings through the 2-1 offering, count even at 2. Deuces are up, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first. Florio staring in. He winds, fires, pop up. First base side, a lot of canopies there, and ball's out of play. As we've got some college coaches or scouts down the line.
Yeah, they're all hanging out in the lawn chairs, right? Yeah. Heads up.
And it's interesting to note they were down the third base line last game. I think they're following the sun.
I would be too.
Another 2-2. This time hit softly to third, got in on the hands of Shalott, and that will end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Trace Florio. We go to the top of the second. Connecticut with a commanding 3-0 lead. Andrew Cavini stepping in from Green Farms High School in Connecticut. Greens Farms, excuse me. Listed at 6'3" in the class of 2022. He'll lead off the top of the second for Connecticut. Takes a first pitch, breaking ball for a strike. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rochuk here for BFA Productions. And Bob, an explosive first inning offensively for Connecticut. This team can really swing the bat.
They got some bats. They hit the ball very hard. This kid, Andrew Cavini, 17 years old and 7 months, so he's one of the older players for our entire showcase event, really.
Pops this one up, left field. And that's a can of corn for out number 1. Josh Botcher back on the hill for his second inning of work, and he got off to a good start. Got a 6-3 ground out against the leadoff hitter Michael Coyne. Then he got John Heitzman to hit a ground ball to second base, but it was bobbled, which allowed Heitzman to reach, and then the rally started from then on out.
They were all hit hard. They had 3 hard hit balls, including the catcher got a triple that ended the inning because we have the 6-batter limit in this showcase event. And there was a sort of a funny moment there.
As Vivona skies one down the right field line, but this tails foul and out of play.
I don't know if the camera got it, but you and I saw him after catcher Gata slid in with his 2-run triple. He came up and did kind of a flex pose thing with both arms. It wasn't as much of a pose as much as he was just absolutely pumped. And, this was kind of team baseball. Let's go, everybody. And, we came all the way here from Connecticut, so let's win some games while we're here, for crying out loud, because they came from the furthest away.
It was an energizer, a momentum shifter, to say the least.
I love it.
You and I both caught that one, as this is lined up the middle and through for a hit. Botcher stuck the glove out, but it got by him. Obviously a tough play. Nothing you could do there other than stick the glove out and hope. So a 1-out single for Vivona, as I totally
Vivona,
butchered that.
We got a lot of names here.
I'm struggling to read my own handwriting. Christian Smith up at the box as this move over to first, not in time to nab Vivona. Smith, a 6-foot-tall catcher in the class of 2022. He has an open stance. Another move to first, not in time. So Botcher keeping a close eye on Vivona over at first. His first pitch to Smith misses outside. Shadows creeping towards the mound now. Runner goes, the 1-0 skied to left. And that will be the second out of the inning on another
just missed
F7.
on that, don't you?
It did. I do think he just got a little bit underneath it. It was a good swing, but didn't get it directly on the barrel. The wind not blowing in as harshly as it was earlier today. It's also a little bit deeper out to left center field.
Yes.
So with 2 gone now in the inning, Max Foster digs in. Another move over to first, so perhaps the scouting report on Vivona is that he likes to get some good jumps, swipe some bags. As a move over to first, a throwdown, by the catcher, not in time. Man, Taleb really keeping a close eye on the runner at first.
So Max Foster, he's a 2023 class, and not yet 16. He's just past 15 and a half. Is that right? I mean, he's a big kid.
Listed at 6'1".
I mean, 15 years old and 8 months. He does not have a 15-year-old frame. He's a big dude.
The 1-1 to him's taken. Runner goes and is out at second. What a shoot from behind the plate. A great throw down there. That looks like Aiden DeLucy. It was number 57 with the shoot, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. Connecticut ahead 3-0.
Heads up.
You're saying Kyle. This is Kyle Serene. I have cases. Oh, I have cases. Kyle Serene to lead off the bottom of the second for Team Telep as he waves through a first pitch changeup. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. Second inning of work for Trace Florio.
Looking at Serene, here's a kid who's 6'4", out of North Pocono High, and he's already a commit as well for Penn State Harrisburg.
Check swing. He did go around. So 2 strikes on him now. To your point, 6'4", 190. Obviously going into his senior year, but that's a solid frame to work with going into college. The 1-2, another bender. This time he's able to lay off of it and keep the hands back. Count even. The 2-2. Hit hard to left, but right at the left fielder for out number 1.
Yeah, that's good contact without it being a base hit, but hit it fairly hard.
It was hit directly at Matt Vivona in left. So Vivona didn't have to move much, settles underneath it. With 1 gone, Tyler Grebb strolls to the box. Listed at 5'10", out of Pocono Mountain East. This ball hit to third. The throw across the diamond is in time. What a shoot from third. Trying to get a roster number there. That's
Catragata. That's 21. That's the kid who had that triple as well.
a great throw across the diamond.
Yeah, and that's a nice pick too. So he can pick it and then he can fire it across with a really strong arm. And already has a triple today. So Trumbull, Connecticut native Kevin Catragata is already having a good day, and we're only in the second inning.
2 gone now in the bottom of the second, and that brings up Aiden DeLucy, who ended the top of the frame with a solid shoot down to second base to nab Matt Vivona on a steal attempt.
Yes, that was a good throw too. There's some really good defense. These kids that can flat out play.
DeLucy, another North Pocono product. A couple players on this team from North Pocono. As he takes this pitch low for a ball. It's a 3-0 count at the plate. DeLucy, one of 4 North Pocono High School players on Team Telep's roster.
Yeah, this is an all Scranton area lineup, obviously. Abington Heights and Pocono Mountain East and North Pocono.
So it's a reset count to 2-0 after 4 straight balls. The 2-0 is a fastball waved through and missed. And remember, it's all fastballs in the count from here on out.
They had a chat with the Connecticut team between innings after we had that little dispute before.
As this is looped to left for a single, a 2-out knock for DeLucy.
We think that there was a one pitch that was a changeup after they did a reset, and that's not supposed to happen. And the umpire had a chat with the Connecticut team between innings. This was an inning ago, and we're theorizing that he was kind of explaining the whole reset rule. Not only do we go back to 2-1 or 2-2, but also it has to be all fastballs. And all the batters need to know that, too, that it's going to be all fastballs coming.
First pitch to Matt Seda is in at the knees for strike one. Seda listed at 5'10", going into his junior year at Scranton High School. And to that point, obviously, showcase game. This is our 4th game of the day, so we've become pretty familiar with those rules, Bob, but these are foreign to a lot of people, and they change showcase to showcase.
Right, and it's kind of by agreement of the coaches, and in fact, coming into this, the rules that we had received via a couple of emails said we're going to play 6 innings,
right,
and then we end up playing 7.
Right.
So yeah, different things happen. And I knew that they had to be doing some kind of no walk reset rule, but I didn't see that. But so it's, and obviously the Connecticut team, I don't think they knew exactly what the rule was.
Right.
We're doing a reset, but not only is it a reset, but also it's fastballs when you get backwards to the 2-ball count. So now you get everybody on the same page, and you're fine.
Right. Now, this wasn't explicitly written, but something that to consider is what would happen if there's runners on second and third. As the runner goes from first, throw down to second, not in time. So it's a stolen base for DeLucy. But I'm imagining...
He had a phenomenal jump there. They had no chance to get him.
Hey, that's a catcher reading.
Yeah, I think so, yes. I mean, because the pitch was kind of a breaking ball outside, so
right,
he might have seen what pitch was coming. That's kind of my idea anyway, yes.
Well, I'm saying that's a catcher swiping a bag, so,
Oh, yes. Okay, yes, I see what you're saying.
A typical backstop making a read in terms of the rhythm of the pitcher, so.
That's ball 4, so they do a reset here again. So they go to 2-1.
The pitch to Seda, hit up the middle, fielded by the second baseman. The throw to first is in time for the final out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We'll head to the top of the 3rd. Connecticut ahead 3-0.
No, you can't say that anymore. Football team. Red, Cincinnati, red legs.
Now, how does it go down in history, though? Like when you say who won the 1984 story?
The Washington football team.
You say that. But they weren't, that was not their team.
They'll always be You're holding. It's all right, folks. Oops, I hit the wall.
Shout Stadium.
But yeah, to answer your question, we played 8 games. We played 4 against Queensborough.
Wait a minute. 2 against
We were 2 and 6. One from the original, one from
Max Foster back in the box as he came to bat in the top of the 2nd, but Matt Vivona was caught stealing to end the inning while Foster was in the middle of his at-bat. So he'll lead it off here in the top of the 3rd. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. as the 0-1 misses low from Josh Botcher. Botcher got in trouble in the first inning. It was a 6-batter limit, but was able to get out of the second unscathed and moved relatively quickly. Now he gets a slow roll to third. The throw to first is in time. It brought the first baseman off the bag, but he was able to make the tag. That looks like Casey Serene over at first.
Yeah,
Nice
Tyler
play.
Grebb is the third baseman who came up with that play, and his throw was a little bit off, but his first baseman is there to help him out. Finn Popkin is the batter here.
That's another one of those names that I just love to say, as Popkin takes a first pitch curveball in for a strike.
I think it's Popkin. This is 91.
Oh, excuse me. I think we have some.
Well,
we have
Popkin is
something
11,
wrong.
but no, it's 91. They had a typo there because that's in the space where 91 would be.
Right. Okay. So we're looking at number 11 on a roster sheet. It is Finn.
This is Popkin. Yeah, Finn Popkin out of Staples, Connecticut.
A 5'9" junior. That pitch is in for strike 2. Count goes to 1-2.
Boy, here we are in September, and Botcher is blowing on his pitching hand, trying to keep it warm. I mean, you're trying to feel your fingers here. Feels like an April ball game, but it's September. I mean, hey, that's high school ball in the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, right? You're doing a lot of blowing on your hands to keep them warm as he got strike 3 right there.
I played some high school ball at Elizabeth High, and I'll tell you what, man, from March through the first week of May, it could be brutal.
Oh, yeah.
It could be brutal. But it builds character. With 2 gone, Pierce Cowles digs in. Checks his swing, but does go around. Cowles out of Fairfield Prep High School in Connecticut, a class of 2023er.
Yeah, we got a lot of sophomores mixed in with the juniors on this Connecticut team.
Botcher moving relatively quickly here in the top of the third. He's settled into a nice groove. His 1-1 catches the outer half of the plate. And this is what you like to see from a young arm. He struggled in the first, has settled into a nice groove though. The 1-2 delivery hits the plate, bounces up, and a nice snag there by Cowles.
Yeah, on the rebound. And I mean, the plate is maybe 10, 15 feet. The backstop, rather, is 10 or 15 feet behind the plate. This is his third inning, probably his last inning of work. Most of these guys are only going to go 3 at the max, so this could be his last batter as well.
The 2-2 misses upstairs, clocked at 71 miles an hour. Count runs full. Cowles with that slightly open stance. Shin guard on the left foot. Ducks underneath the 3-2 offering, but
I wrote a walk on my score sheet. I still haven't gotten
it's
used
so
to it. I see ball
instinctual.
4, and I get to that point, right?
So the count resets to 2-2. All fastballs from here on out in the at-bat. Another full count. This time, walking is an option.
Right.
The payoff pitch. Caught on and missed for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for Josh Botcher. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Connecticut leads 3-0. Gavin Lecoe will lead things off in the bottom of the third for Team Telep as he swings through a first pitch fastball from Trace Florio. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. It's a 3-0 lead for Connecticut. Telep has been scoreless through their first baseman lost it in the sun, and Serene is on at second with a double. It goes down as a double in the book.
Yeah, I suppose. I wonder if he was called off and it was a miscommunication there as much as losing it. I mean, I don't know how much sun they're dealing with and contending with out where they are.
Well, sun's coming from over the trees down the third base line, but another ball hit to the same spot. This one's going to get out of play.
This is Higgins here. Jeff Higgins out of Riverside High School, and a 5'10" tall right-handed batter.
Yeah, but back to that play though. That really is a play for either the second baseman or right field. That's a tough read for a first baseman going directly back on the line.
It looked like he might have backed off from the ball at the last minute as opposed to having lost it. Like he intentionally kind of stood back. Maybe he heard somebody or thought. But when you get the three guys together like that, the communication can be very tricky. You're all looking up, not at each other.
As Higgins waves through a fastball for strike 3, there's 2 gone now in the inning.
That's 3 strikeouts here for Trace Florio.
And with 2 gone now, he'll face the man he had his first strikeout against, which is Jeremy Cawley, the leadoff batter for Team Telep, who went fishing for a low fastball.
Might be his last batter to face as well, since this is his 3rd inning for Trace Florio.
The 0-1, check swing, and it's over the first base dugout. Florio way ahead in the count, looking to close out what's been a productive 3 innings of work.
In front of 11 different colleges and coaches that are watching.
The 0-2 waved through and missed, his 4th strikeout of the ball game.
Another good pitch, really.
So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on for Team Telep. We head to the 4th. Connecticut ahead, 3-0.
That chair's seen a lot of recruiting.
Sorry, I was a day late.
No, you're good. Who we got?
Josh Bodker back out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck. And Bob, this is the first time today we've seen a pitcher enter the 4th inning of work.
Yeah, we thought it might be it for him in the 3rd, and he had kind of thrown a lot of pitches in the 1st inning when he faced 6 batters and got hit hard. But then he buckles down and throws very well in the 2nd and 3rd. And now I think this was the plan heading in, but he's throwing into the 4th.
He'll face Michael Coyne, the leadoff man, both in the inning and in the lineup for Connecticut Black. First 2 pitches to him are out of the zone, making it a 2-0 count. Coyne grounded out to shortstop in his first at-bat, and that gave us a chance to see the footwork and the arm strength of Telep's shortstop, Gavin Shalat. The 2-0's in for a strike. On deck is John Heitzman, who reached on an error and eventually came around to score the first run of the ball game back in the top of the first. The 2-1 waved through and missed. Coyne went chasing at a pitch above the letters. The 2-2 waved through and missed for strike 3.
He really pulled the string on him there. I mean, that was a good pitch on a 2-strike count to get a batter chasing, and we've seen so many batters with such discipline being able to lay off of pitches like that, knowing that 2-strike off-speed breaking ball, left outside might be coming. Coyne couldn't lay off. And a nice strikeout there for Josh Bacher, and that's 3 strikeouts in a row now for him.
He's really settled in since the second inning. A great recovery from a 3-run first as he's behind in the count 1-0 to Heitzman and misses low with this offering. Heitzman, as I already mentioned, reached on an error and scored the first run of the game back in the top of the first inning. The 2-0 is inside. On deck is Mako Cardona. Bacher deals, and the 3-0 is fouled off. A lot of 3-0 swinging today.
Well,
but
why not? I mean,
why
you
not?
can reset the count anyway. That's the idea. So, you want to put the ball in play and show the coaches why you swing. This is not a tournament. This is not something that you're trying to win a championship trophy. This is a showcase event with 11 college coaches that have been invited, at least, as far as, there might have been more. It's about the kids showing off their talent in a team and competitive environment,
right.
But it's a little loose in that regard. It's more about the kids showing what they can do.
Bacher's 3-2 misses down and in. It's a reset. Count goes to 2-2. All fastballs here on out.
A lot of the college coaches, or all of them, are congregating in line chairs, on lawn chairs right down the line there in right field.
This offering misses low. It's another full count.
And we've seen some of the coaches here for Arcadia, and I forget his name, but he's part of one of the Baseball U programs as well.
The payoff pitch misses high. Heitzman works a walk and is on for the second time in this ballgame.
So University of Scranton, Gettysburg College, Keystone College, Bloomsburg University, Goldie Beacom College, Frostburg State, Lock Haven U, Ursinus College, DeSales U, Newman University, and Arcadia. A couple of these coaches came from a decent distance.
And it looks like
he reached his pitch count, so they're going to change.
Yeah, we're going to have a pitching change as the new arm coming on for Talbot will be Matt Seda. So that will end the day for Josh Bacher, who goes 3 1/3 innings.
Yeah.
Gives up 3 earned runs. Or 2, excuse me. One was on an error.
They would be all unearned, actually.
Would they?
Because it would be it.
That would be 3 outs because of the initial error?
Yes. When you reconstruct the inning, catcher got his triple that came with 2 outs. It would have been after the inning would have ended.
Well,
so that is 0 earned runs.
That is true. That is true.
For what it's worth, I mean, that the coaches don't care about those stats. They care that he got hit a little bit hard there. But for the record, yes, it would be 3 runs, 0 earned because of the error earlier in the inning on 3 1/3, and 4 hits, and finishes with 3 strikeouts in a row before the walk.
Yeah, solid job of recovering from that inning in the first. He's kept the team in the ball game, excuse me. And
so you said this is 7, Matt Saida?
Yes.
So
Saida.
Thank you. I had a hunch it might be Saida. Yeah, we thank you. We get some of them wrong, some of them right. Hopefully more right than wrong.
That's always the goal.
Yeah, right. He's a Scranton kid.
Well, after a couple quick warm-up pitches, Saida is ready to go.
Yeah, he didn't take 8 pitches there. So, 5'10" tall pitcher out of Scranton.
And he'll be facing Maiko Cardona, who doubled back in the first inning. And that was one of the harder hit baseballs we've seen in this tournament today.
Yes.
Now he hits one hard on the ground to third. This could be a double play. Throw to second in time, over to first, and that makes the twin killing.
That was close at first, but and very nicely turned.
Score at 5-4-3 if you're keeping track at home. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Connecticut ahead 3-0. Ben Chirico is the new arm for Connecticut Black as we enter the bottom of the fourth inning. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Roatruck here for BFA Productions. So Trace Florio went 3 innings. It was a solid performance by him as this is on the ground and short, but the throw goes way over the first baseman and out of play. So score that in E6.
He was looking at his fingers there, so I mean, totally slipped out of his hand, or cold hands, whatever happened there on the shortstop firing it away. That's Matt Shell, who reaches safely on the air after he'd been the one at second base that turned that very nice double play. He was going back to his position after he threw it to first. It was that close at first. He didn't know if he'd gotten the out or not, and then when he got the double play, now I get to go back to the dugout.
Meanwhile, Gavin Schlott digs in. Big cut at the first pitch, but he waves through it. Schlott grounded out to third in his first and only at-bat in the first inning. But he has an RBI chance, tries a bunt, pulls back, but it's in for a called strike 2.
Well, there you go. And he wasn't squared around to start. He showed bunt very late.
The 0-2 nearly hits him. Runner's going to get to third on the wild pitch.
That'll wake you up quickly. A ball coming a little behind you and almost at your head there. That was slipping out of the hand of Ben Chirico. And he's got a good fastball too. He can chuck it up there at about 83.
Listed at 6'4", so he's got some good reach as well as
kind of bends that elbow in, while he's coming a little 3/4 style.
It doesn't have the full extension that you'd want to see yet from a young pitcher. Still has some time to develop that. The 2-2 misses a bit high.
It's a whip action, I on that look anyway.
No, it's well said. It's more side to side instead of
Yeah.
over the top.
Yeah, but that forearm whips around off of that elbow, which I don't know if that's entirely healthy, but that's how he's able to generate his velocity. That was ball 4, I believe, to Shalat, so it becomes a 2-2 count now.
All fastballs here on out. Shalat will have time here as Aiden DeLucy calls time to chat with his right-hand hurler. On deck for Telep is Kyle Serene. The 2-2 misses upstairs. Chirico's payoff is inside, ball 4. So good patience there by Chilat to work the walk. So Serene has runners on the corner.
I have it as Connecticut 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and Scranton no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. And all the scoring was on their 3-run rally in the first, and then it's been good pitching and mostly good defense since then, too.
Talip with an opportunity here, however. Serene is pegged on the first offering, and Shalat will have to go back to first. He had a good jump trying to steal second there, but it's for naught.
It's the hit batter is the same as a walk, in which case we don't do it, and we reset the count. So I believe now 2-0 because he got hit by the first pitch.
So
and the idea is to get the batters their opportunities to hit. If you go up into one of these showcase events, travel all the way in from Connecticut, and you walk 3 times, what did you get to show?
Well, Serene goes after the 2-0 offering on the reset and skies it foul out of play. But for Serene, this is actually an ideal opportunity because it's a hitter's count with only fastballs.
Right. Yeah,
Hitter's
so,
dream. You know, you know,
in front of
step up
11
there.
college coaches who are all watching and taking notes.
Chirico steps off, checks on the runner at first. Shalat goes. Pitch swung on and skied to right field. The wind has it and takes it out of play. So Serene just misses on back-to-back fastballs, fouling both of them down the right field line. Count at 2, at 2. Serene knows he's going to get a straight fastball here. Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled straight back into the glove for strike 3.
Strike 3 and Gavin Shalat leaving, with the pitch, so he gets a stolen base. No throw.
Yeah, excuse me.
On the play there.
I wasn't sure if Shalat had to go back there on the foul.
Yeah, foul tip
strike.
is strike 3, and the play is live.
So with 1 gone and runners on second and third, Tyler Greb swings through the first pitch offering.
That's Christian Smith, who was the catcher here for Connecticut Black out of Fairfield Ludlow, number 55.
Oh, excuse me. I said Aiden DeLucy on that mound visit. I had I'm looking at the wrong roster from earlier, so thank you for that correction. As this nearly hits Greb, but he's able to get out of the way. Count even at 1. The 1-1. Skied first base side. And caught in foul territory
with
for
all
out
the
number
coaches
2.
over there.
Yeah, it takes a lot of concentration to know that you've got about 9 or 10
could go
college
crashing right
scouts.
into those
You
guys.
could either run into them, you don't want to drop it right in front of them.
That's
be the
how
center of
informal
attention.
it is for the showcase event. Hey, coaches, pull up a lawn chair, sit on the field.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can come on and join us. That's fine.
Good composure there down the first base line. So with 2 gone, Aiden DeLucy digs in. A 2-out RBI chance for him. Lays off a first pitch fastball for strike 1. Toulouse singled and stole a base back in the second inning. Taps the 0-1 offering back to the mound, and Chirico walks it over to first for the final out of the inning. So 2 stranded in scoring position, a wasted opportunity for Talip, and we head to the top of the 5th. Connecticut still ahead 3-0.
I'm going with.
Brett Davino out of Nonawag High School will lead off the top of the 5th inning for Connecticut.
The mighty Nonawag Chiefs of Woodbury, Connecticut. FYI. Now you know.
That's why I need you on, because I had no clue, Bob.
We're not quite as familiar with our Connecticut high schools. We're learning as we go.
Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. It's the top of the 5th inning. And on the bump for his second inning of work is the reliever Matt Saida. The 1-1 bounces low to Davino, who singled and came around to score back in the first inning.
It was one of their 3 hard hit balls in the first against Botcher, and they've had just a single since. I mean, they had a whole lot of nothing after crushing it in the first.
2-1 misses, down and out. I'll tell you what, though, Kevin Catragata due up third in this inning, and he sparked this lineup. His triple and then celebration at third base to end the inning. That was the most exciting moment probably of this tournament.
Well, and then the throw that he had from third an inning later as well. Looks like a terrific player and certainly an enthusiastic one as well.
This is served over the shortstop and down for another base hit. A 2-for-2 afternoon for Brett Davino.
So it is Connecticut 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. And Baseball U Scranton, Baseball U Telep, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. So a 3-0 lead that Connecticut is looking to build on here in the 5th.
So with a runner on first, Alberto Cannellini digs in. He flew out to left field back in the first inning. Nice healthy lead for Davino at first. Runner goes. Pitches in for a strike. The throw to second. Not in time. So Davino swipes a bag and is 90 feet closer to scoring.
Yeah, it's amazing how time sort of flies a little bit anyway. You're busy focusing on a baseball game or multiple games. I mean, we've been here almost 8 hours now, calling our fourth game. Started at 8 in the morning.
It feels like we just got here.
Well, I don't know if it was just got here, but I mean, it hasn't been exactly a total marathon.
As Davino reaches third on the wild pitch. For me, maybe it's just the coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just,
right.
Caffeine has that kind of effect on me.
I did a hockey game in the playoffs that went 5 overtimes, and it was the longest game in AHL history. And it ended up past 1 in the morning, and it made a lot of headlines. So I got interviewed about it a couple of times in The Athletic and so forth. And how'd you call a game for 6 hours? And I'm like, I've done that. I've done baseball doubleheaders that have gone that long. It's hockey's a little more intense, and you're dialed in to call a goal. But I mean, you're saying wow, and I'm like, yes, I get it. But we've been here for 8 hours. We're going to be 10. To me, that's the bigger wow, right? I mean, that's longer than 6.
I enjoy the marathon. It makes doing a single game on a Tuesday feel a lot easier than it normally is. As this gets away from the backstop, but not far enough for Davino to come home.
The biggest difference here is that we know coming in that we're going to call 10 hours worth of baseball. We saw the schedule, and the last game is scheduled for 4:30, I believe. When you go into a single game, you don't know that one's going to be 5 overtimes or 20 innings or whatever.
The 2-2 to Cannellini is skied to right. This might be enough to score the run. The ball is caught out in right field. Throw to the plate is not in time. A beautiful slide by Davino to avoid the tag.
That's a tremendous throw, though. They made that very close. I really didn't think they were going to have a play on that. So that right fielder had a gun. Wow.
Good shootout from right, but Davino able to avoid the tag. Credit Cannellini with an RBI on the sac fly. And with 1 gone and a run in, Kevin Catragata strolls to the plate.
All right, well, we saw what he could do in 1 at-bat. Let's see what he can do for an encore here.
Well, looking to extend Connecticut's lead. They're ahead 4-0 here in the top of the 5th as Catragata ahead in the count 2-0. Slightly open stance for the right-hander. Spits on the 2-0 offering, way ahead now. On deck is Andrew Cavini. The 3-0. That's in there. Catragata taking all the way.
"16 and 1 month." So just recently turned 16 years old. That's, he's got a pretty good frame. Out of Trumbull High School. And a 2022 grad. And maybe a bright future here. I mean, he looks like a pretty good player.
The payoff is swung through and missed. It bounces in the dirt. Throw to first is in time for out number 2. So a good sequence there by Matt Saida. Went with the curveball in a 3-2 count, knowing even if he misses, he can't go with a curveball if it's a reset. So that's a wise choice. Try to get the batter off balance with your off-speed pitch. Gets Catragata to wave through one in the dirt. And with 2 gone, Andrew Cavini steps in, 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. The 1-0. That's in at the letters.
Looking at Catragata and that play that he made from third base, it is not at all surprising that he's also one of their better pitchers on the Trumbull High School team.
The 1-1 is a slider that had some good movement to it.
I was trying to find some velocity info on him because I was just curious, but I wasn't able to dig up any. They don't have the stats and velocities on every single player here.
As this 2-1 offering is roped into the left center field gap. That's trouble. This will be at least 2. Chiavini on his horse. He's digging for third. The throw. Not in time. It's a 2-out triple for Andrew Chiavini, the second triple today for a Connecticut Black player. And that sparks some momentum in their dugout as Matt Vivona has a chance to bring in the 5th run of the game for Connecticut Black.
They don't cheat themselves on their swings, do they? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, Chiavini got all of that one on a rope to the opposite side of the field. A great piece of opposite field hitting. Now this one hit on the ground at first. A nice play for the final out of the inning. It was Serene who went down, made the grab, and got to the bag in time. So that will end the inning, but not before a run was brought home on a sacrifice fly to score Brett Davino. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Connecticut Black ahead 4-0. Matt Saida to lead off the bottom of the 5th for Team Telep, who trails Connecticut 4-0. Ben Chirico's first offering of the frame misses outside. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. So Connecticut able to get back on the board in the top half of the frame. Telep still looking to crack the 0 spot.
Only need more than a couple hits to do it.
Yeah, it's been a struggle to string hits together for them.
DeLucy had a single in the 2nd, and Casey Serene had a double in the 3rd, and a walk and an error in the 4th. So some modest threats.
This is skied to right, and it's going to be off the fence. Saida with a long single.
Boy, that really carried. I didn't know it was going to go that far. It didn't feel like that to me.
Yeah, got up into the jet stream.
It might have, yeah. I don't know.
Well, based on the American flag down the right field line, it looks like the wind is blowing towards the right field foul pole. So perhaps that extra tailing action aided that ball going that direction. We've seen the wind shift in multiple different directions here today.
Yeah, it's been all over the place. It really has.
Gavin Lecoe stares at a first pitch strike from Chirico. Now a move to first, but not in time. Chirico just trying to keep a close eye on Saida. Lecoe struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Swings through this fastball. Oh-2 count at the plate. Saida with a decent lead at first. And Lecoe waves at a fastball for his second strikeout of the game swinging.
Little cutter, kind of tailing away some.
One gone, a runner on. Casey Serene digs in with a double back in the 3rd, as another move to first is unsuccessful. Chirico to your point, has some nice late run on his fastball, and that whipping action. Very deceptive. Not many pitchers come at that angle, so you have to factor that into how effective a pitcher can be. On deck is Jeff Higgins, and then it'll be the top of the lineup after him, assuming Telep is able to put a rally together.
I think these Serene kids, I think they're twins, even though they have different heights. But they're both 17 years old and 7 months, so unless they're cousins who happen to have similar birthdays, let's assume that they are twin brothers.
I would say...
I was looking to see which one's the older one, and I go, oh, okay, they're in the same class, so...
Ow.
But not identical twins, I guess. Kyle Serene is 6'4", and Casey Serene is 6'1".
And that fastball clips Serene here in this at-bat, Casey Serene, so it's going to be a reset. Oh, excuse me, they're saying that hit the nub of the bat, so instead of a reset, it's a 1-2
It sounded
count.
like it.
Yeah, tough to tell from our angle, as the 1-2 is in for a called strike 3.
Boy, so you dumped that in there on the corner, really nice.
Yeah, good location there by Saida, who, after surrendering a leadoff single, has 2 consecutive strikeouts. And with 2 gone, we'll face Jeff Higgins. First pitch to Higgins is up and in. Saida on at first, led off the inning with a line drive single off the right field fence. The 1-0, just a bit high. And shadows really starting to set in down the third baseline, almost reaching the pitcher's mound. As the 2-0's tapped back to the mound. And that's going to be an easy play. 1-3 to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. We head to the top of the 6th. Connecticut with a commanding 4-0 lead.
Where did I hit? Did you see it? I couldn't see it. I had no idea where it hit. Yeah, I didn't. Everybody in the stadium saw that.
And then when he starts to get close to the end,
Max and I were both very happy with the coach.
I feel like we should start running because then we gotta take it.
Anyway, that's all I called for, dude. They're good, man. Yeah, I'll text you.
Matt Saida back on the mound for his 3rd frame of work here today, and he will be facing Christian Smith to get things going here in the top of the 6th. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rochuk here for BFA Productions. As we're reaching the tail end of game number 4 on our slate, I'd like to thank all of the viewers who have joined us today And, whether if it's been just for this game, for a couple, maybe you're listening to all four with us here today. Chances are rare, but shout out, props to you if you've joined us and are a true baseball showcase fanatic. We thank you for your viewership. Meanwhile, Smith fouls this offering back.
I think we have 1 and 2. So Connecticut at 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Scranton team Telep at no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. And I beg your pardon, it's actually a 2-1 count.
The 2-1 is hit on the ground to short. Throw over to first is in plenty of time. And
that's a lot over there, and that's another fairly smooth play. I mean, when you look at a shortstop, you want to see how comfortable are they over there. Are they fighting it? How smooth are they? Smooth is a good word for a shortstop. That's what you want to see. And that's where Gavin Shalat, as a sophomore in high school, is already a commit for Louisiana State, which is very impressive.
Max Foster now fouls off the first pitch he sees. 0 for 1 with the ground out to third.
I mean, all of the Southern kids who get to play more baseball there, they're available for the taking for SEC schools.
Right.
And Louisiana State sees enough out of Gavin Shalat. At this age, they wanted to try to commit him early.
As Foster singles up the middle. And that conversation point brings up a topic that, I've mentioned this to a lot of people. Because I grew up in New Jersey, and I happen to think, it's a theory of mine, that there's just a natural bias, understandably so, for Southern college prospects in the sport of baseball, right? There's more year-round, the weather is nicer down there, but I think that the best D3 conference for baseball is the NJAC. I really think that in terms of talent at the Division III level, it doesn't really get better than NJAC baseball. There's been a couple national championship contenders out of that conference over the last couple of years, and there's just quality baseball in the Northeast, because not just in New Jersey specifically, but in this region, a lot of kids get slept on. They really do.
Sure. Well, they're not sleeping on Gavin Shalat, are they?
No.
I mean, and maybe that's going to be the beginning of a trend of fewer kids getting slept on.
Meanwhile, the batter at the plate is Finn Hopkin, 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Waves through a slider. That's why programs like Baseball U are so important, right? Because they give kids opportunities who wouldn't normally get viewed, the chance to be seen potentially on not just a regional, but now being recorded through a streaming service, a national level.
And some of them are playing on teams that will travel and go play in Florida in a January tournament, that type of thing, because you can't do that up here. and so you got to go where the games are, and then there's a bit more of an expense involved, obviously, for something like that, but you got to get the reps and try to match what the Southern kids can get naturally because of the better weather.
Popkin down swinging for out number 2. And that will bring up Pierce Cowles, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. Cowles with an open stance. Takes a big cut at the first pitch he sees, but swings through it.
Yeah, get up there, get aggressive, go for it. If you miss, then you got the 2 more tries, right?
Yeah, I always say, I swing very hard when I take hacks, right? And people always say, why are you swinging so hard? And I respond with, in case I run into one, in case I hit it.
I think that's correct, or at least it's a philosophy.
It doesn't mean I'm going to hit it very often, but just in case I hit it, I'm a big true outcomes guy. I'm either going to walk, strike out, or hit one far. As this is tapped to short, the throw by Shalat across the diamond is in time to first, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. At the end of 6.5, Connecticut leads Telep 4-0. It's the top of the lineup for Team Telep against a new wing for Connecticut. The new arm is Matt Spenner, a 5'9" right-hand junior out of Hopkins High School who misses high for a ball with his first offering of the game. Chris Markowitz alongside Bob Rotruck here for BFA Productions. And Telep running out of time to make a comeback here today.
We don't even know if we'll get a 7th inning. I mean, we sort of have until 4:20 in this game, or 7 innings, and right now almost 4:10, so it's close.
This is tapped to short. The throw across the diamond is just in time. A nice stretch at first by Mako Cardona. And they just barely get Jeremy Cawley. The throw across the diamond came from the shortstop, Pierce Cowles.
Pierce Cowles had that play. Yeah, I was looking that up too. Yeah, number 10, Pierce Cowles out of Fairfield Prep. Charging on kind of a little bit of a tapper. And a really nice play and a strong throw.
So with one gone, Matt Shaw digs in 0 for 2, but reached on an error back in the 4th. One more game on our slate after this. Scheduled.
Yeah, another Connecticut team.
Yeah, Connecticut Orange, 17U. They'll be taking on MSI Black, 17U. That's scheduled to start at 4:40, but again, that's tentative depending on the ending of this game as the 1-1 is fouled back. My assumption would be that this tournament would try to get it in as soon as possible. We have had some early start times, but you never know. Those two teams are getting loose in the batting cage.
Right.
So the 1-2 swung on and missed. Shaw down swinging for out number 2 in the inning.
That's another good pitch here from the new guy, Matt Spenner. So Connecticut with 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Scranton, Team Telep with no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error.
Gavin Shalott leaves it low. Shalott 0 for 1 with a walk. Also stole a base back in the 4th inning. He's made a couple nice defensive plays at short.
We had a 3-run rally in the first. I thought maybe this will be the game where we get a little more high scoring, but we've had a whole lot of nothing for the most part. Just 1 more run since then, and so a 4-0 game in the 6th. We had 2-1, 3-1, now 4-0. Good pitching in D. Here's some good D.
Nice sliding play at third. The throw in time to nab Shalott at first base. What a play by Finn Popkin to get Shalott to end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Telep, and we head to the top of the 7th. Looks like they're going to play it. We'll take a quick break. Final inning coming up next here on BFA Productions.
Did you get something here?
You never know when it's going to hit. How much you have of that thing?
Huh?
How much you have of that thing?
What?
If I was you, I'd like to go.
No, it's dripping. I don't know. Stop!
Never go in the game was over.
For the love of God, keep your shirt on.
Michael Coyne, the leadoff batter for Connecticut, will lead off the top of the 7th. And I'm just noticing this in our scorebook. It's rare you see this, but Coyne led off the 1st, he led off the 4th, and now he'll lead off the 7th. So being true to his role, he'll face Tyler Grebb, new on the mound.
Well, it's rare you see it when there's 13 batters in the lineup. In a 9-batter lineup, you can see it sometimes.
So Grebb, the new wing for Talip. His first 2 pitches both miss low. 5'10", 175-pound right-hand junior out of Pocono Mountain East High School. A versatile defensive player. He can catch and play first base. Oh, excuse me, I'm reading that wrong. He can play third and second. I'm reading the numbers as it's listed 3-2. I'm thinking traditional baseball scoring.
I think that's ball 4, so we do a reset.
We're going to have a reset to a 2-0 count. Only fastballs from here on out.
Yeah, 16 years and 9 months, so closing in on 17 out of Pocono Mountain East High School from Scott Run, Pennsylvania. And it has him here as righty pitcher, third baseman, middle infielder, outfielder, shortstop, utility. It kind of covers it all, I think.
The 2-1 is hit hard and a nice diving snag at second. That play made by Matt Shao.
And he turned that double play earlier in the game, too. So he's had a couple of nice defensive plays each direction, going to his right and going to his left. Here's John Heitzman.
Yeah, Coyne got to be frustrated as he has a hit stolen from him. Heitzman checks his swing, but not in time. He does go around. Heitzman 0 for 1, but has been on base twice today. He reached in the first on an error and in the fourth on a walk. Now he taps this pitch to third. Throw across is in time for out number 2.
It's a nice play over there by the third baseman, and that's Catragatas. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong team. Who do we have at third?
That looks like Matt Saida.
Okay.
I believe it's number 7.
So he went from pitcher and then.
Hey, that's no easy feat throwing across the diamond after
going
3 innings of work.
Yeah, for sure.
So
right, this is Cardona, right?
Yes, sir. Michael Cardona, who takes a first pitch strike. He's 1 for 2. Doubled back in the first inning.
Hit it very hard.
And grounded hard into a double play back in the 4th. So 2 hard hit balls for him today. I really like this kid's swing. A powerful right-hander. And Michael, just a sophomore, as he's out in front of this pitch, chops it foul.
Well, he's a big kid for a sophomore, and wonder if he plays a little football up there too.
12 years later, that's 10 o'clock. Sunday school doesn't.
The 1-2, just a bit low. If Cardona reaches, on deck is Brett Davino. Good patience there by Cardona to spit on a breaking ball, lay off of it to force a full count. The payoff, fouled first base side, takes a hop towards the dugout and then back into fair territory. Obviously it's a foul ball though because it's dead off the cage. So it'll be another full count at the plate to Cardona. Connecticut nursing a 4-run lead. And that's ball 4. It's a reset to a 2-2 count. Up next on our slate of games is MSI Black taking on Connecticut Orange. That should start around 4:40. The 2-2 misses outside.
You get a look at Cardona from that other camera shot, and you can see some of the fans who are sitting to our immediate left, bundled up, trying to stay warm. You know what? Bunching up your arms together probably isn't going to accomplish a whole lot. It is cold.
As Cardona hits one to third, the throw takes the first baseman off the bag, but he puts the tag on Cardona for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th. For Connecticut. We'll head to the bottom half of the frame. Last licks for Taleb, who trails 4-0.
It's going to be cold in the morning.
Three hits and 1 error.
The 1-1 is low. On deck is Tyler Greb. In the hole is Aiden DeLucy. So those are the 3 scheduled to hit regardless of the circumstances in the inning. Assuming one of those batters is able to reach, Matt Saeda is scheduled to hit 4th. Gavin Laco after him, and then the 6-batter limit, if we get there, would be Casey Serene.
And they would technically have to try to get 4 runs in that time, but, you know, again, it's a baseball showcase.
All you need is 5 home runs, that's all.
Right, exactly.
This fouled back first base side. We've seen Kyle Serene hit some hard balls down the right field line, but he has not been able to straighten them out and keep them fair.
And he lined out to left in the second, so he got 1 fair, but he hit it at the left fielder.
Time is called.
Maple Zone Sports Institute is led by Coach Nick Tadero, and they are playing next against the other Connecticut team, Baseball U Connecticut Orange. This is Baseball U Connecticut Black. That is our game scheduled for 4:40, but we have a little bit of a gap time between games, so it might start at 4:45, or maybe they started at 4:40. And that will be it. That will be our 5th game out of 5 on our quintuple header at this Scranton Baseball Showcase.
Well, that's just the beginning for you, though. I know you got 5
We'll do it all over again
tomorrow.
tomorrow, huh? Same teams, though, so now at least I have some familiarity.
There you go. Save the box scores.
And I know how to do it. Here I am. You know, I was the new guy today.
It's a full count for Serene, who skies the payoff pitch to right center. And that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, center fielder kind of caught it off his left hip there on the run.
So 1 gone, and Tyler Greb strolls to the plate, 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and a pop out to first.
Switch from third base to pitcher. last inning, so he's got a little versatility.
Takes a first pitch fastball upstairs. And I think that by start time, or not start time, but the second or third inning of our next game, this field will probably be entirely engulfed in shadows.
Yeah,
so.
I was thinking that they might want to be turning on the lights at some point, but we can kind of hack it for a bit longer. But you got the hill and the mountains and the trees behind us as well. You got a lot of shadows here. So even though the sun hasn't set, you've got enough tall surroundings to cause enough shadows that I don't know, it gets darker fast.
The 3-0 is popped up third base side, out of play.
And again, this is a situation where in a regular game maybe he's not swinging 3-0, but because you do the reset after ball 4, there's no point in being overly precautious just to get on base. It's about trying to swing and find your pitch to put into play.
This 3-1 offering is a breaking ball that misses inside, so it's a reset to a 2-1 count. All fastballs from here. Aiden DeLucy getting loose on deck.
Yeah, that was ball 4, so the reset to 2-1. It gets me every time. Seriously. I've only been looking at it for like 8 hours, and I'm still getting used to it.
And I think the pitcher, Matt Spencer, still getting used to it because he had to step off and get clarification as to what pitches he could throw here. Misses low with a fastball.
Right, again, after the reset, it's all fastballs, and that's the rule, and it's an agreement with all the teams to do it that way and just sort of kind of get on with the at-bat. Okay, you lost him with a walk, now you get to throw fastballs.
Grubb swings right through the 3-1 fastball. Count is full. The payoff. Skied down the third base line. And there's enough room for the third baseman to make the play. That's Finn Popkin who ranges over.
That was going to be way out of play, and the wind pushed it back in. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt because I thought that was going to be way back, and that wind is blowing the other way. Kept it in, and
hey, sometimes it helps the hitter, sometimes it hurts him.
Tough luck, Tyler Greb. Hang with him.
So 2 gone now in the inning. Aiden DeLucy steps in, 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to the mound. DeLucy showed off his arm behind the plate earlier today with a nice throw down the second to nab base runner. It was Matt Vavona who tested his arm. That was back in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, we've had a few steals today and some good defensive plays, but we haven't had a whole lot of caught stealings, but we did have one from Aiden DeLucy.
The 2-0 misses low. A lot of patience here from DeLucy. Bat on his shoulder. Let's see if he takes all the way. I'm assuming that's the case, but you never know. That fourth ball will prompt a reset. Count goes to 2-0. All fastballs from this point on. The 2-0.
Ooh.
That one gets away.
That one got away more than the previous one. They're getting higher and higher. Slipped out of his hand or something. Yeah, he wants a new ball. So he felt something on that ball.
I don't blame him.
That didn't feel right to him. It was a little slippery on the last 2 pitches. All about grip.
So it's a 3-0 count to DeLucy. The last hope for this Talip lineup as he looks at strike 1.
He likes that new ball better, for sure.
Yeah, it's a comfort thing for pitchers. The 3-1 fouled back.
It's amazing. I mean, all baseballs are supposedly identical to the naked eye, and to you and me feeling them, they feel identical. But if you're releasing it at 80 miles an hour or something, you can tell there's little variations there. This one feels a little tighter. This one feels a little kind of looser, whatever. It's incredible.
Well, if all you do is throw, between 40 to 50 pitches 3 days a week, you'll be able to tell real quick if a ball is scuffed.
Some of it is psychological, but some of it's for real. There is a slight variation.
As this is skied high to second and caught for the final out of the ball game. So final score, Connecticut 4, Talip nothing. That'll do it for us here in game number 4 of this showcase at Shout Stadium, but we're not done yet. One more game coming up, scheduled to start around 4:40. Might be a little bit later. We'll keep you updated. Thanks for joining us here on BFA Productions, and stay tuned for game number 5.
Thanks. I just hope my feet can withstand it.
Yeah, 2 games, pretty rough.
Easy day. And then you guys brought the pizza and I was super motivated. And then